Conference championship weekend is set. The Chiefs will host the Bills as Buffalo held off Baltimore 27-25 last night, while Kansas City beat the Houston Texans 23-14 on Saturday. On the NFC side, the Eagles will host the Commanders as Washington took down the Detroit Lions 45-31, and the Eagles held off the Rams 28-22 behind Saquon Barkley's 205 and 2 tutties. The Spurs fell 128-107 to Miami last night, dropping to 19-22 on the year and losing 3 consecutive games. They were paced by Devin Vassell's 23. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Monday.
Good morning, everybody! Hey, how we doing out there? Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm your old pal, AJ.
Morning, old pal.
And here's my old pal, Rob Thompson! Let's hear it, everybody!
Man, busy weekend, right? I'm worn out.
Oh, exhausted.
All that tennis.
Exhausted.
Australian Open's been thrilling.
And on the other side of the glass, look who's here today. It's not Victor Brown. It's James Pledger. Good morning,
Hey,
Jimmy.
James.
What's going on, guys?
Good morning, friend. Good morning. We've given Edwin and Vic the day off for Martin Luther King Day, as they are both people of color, and we think that they deserve a day of rest. A day of rest is what is needed.
I feel oppressed.
I do too.
I know.
I do too.
I didn't realize.
No, this is the
It's like
corporate mandated.
It's kind of like the
only whites working
It's
today.
kind of like being Jewish on Christmas Day.
Damn it! Today sucks.
Let's go get some chicken fried steak.
Oh, it's like being a Jehovah's Witness on Halloween. All the other kids eating candy, dressing
Wait a
up.
minute.
This sucks, man. This sucks.
Go look around. Oh wait, no, I know what's going on across the building on the other side of the street.
Well, I kid, I jest, obviously, but happy Martin Luther King Jr.
It
Day.
is going to be a brisk day for America's largest MLK Day march.
I'm unaware. I was unaware that was here.
It's a big deal. It's one of those. I have marched in some cold MLK days. I mean, there's something kind of traditional about today being really cold. So there's still going to be a big crowd. We're kind of used to it. So
it's a cold one today, boys.
It's one of the great things our city does. Congratulations to all those that are already up and about and doing this. We're talking that there's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of people walking down MLK today. So congratulations to all that are down there and celebrating in the right way. Bundle up, though. It was 19.
I don't know if congratulations are in order.
Congratulations.
For up there freezing your ass off.
It's a big day. 19 at my house.
Woo.
19.
I got in the car this morning and said, I think 24.
It dipped down. Well, I'm sorry, 22 at my house. It dipped down to now 19, kind of real close to my house, but didn't quite
on
get
your
there.
Drive in.
Yeah, there was a little dip, when I guess.
Well, I live in warmer weather.
Yeah, you live further south.
I live in the very, very warm part of
the
town.
warmer climes.
Yeah. Virtual heat wave over here. It's 27 at the station.
Yes.
But you guys live pretty close to each other. So
do we? I didn't know that.
Now tonight.
Pledger and I have only socialized once, and he took me to a swinger bar.
No, that was Jason that took you to a swinger bar.
Well, you were there with me, and then
which bar was this?
That
Kennedy's.
Some guy tried to fight me because I was talking to his ugly wife. It's like, dude,
that's kind of a.
I'm not interested in your ugly wife.
That's a cougar trap.
But I took him to Edison Experiment.
Which?
Great old fashioned.
Yeah.
And lots of cougars.
Yeah,
that's where James does his cougar hunting.
That's a cougar trap there.
Yeah. Yep. But they do serve a nice drink.
You like Werther's, young man?
Do serve a nice drink, I can tell you that.
Have you ever had breakfast in bed, young man?
Straight out the pocket.
She runs a bed and breakfast, and out of her house. Doilies everywhere. Oh,
What's this glass of water for?
what's all this needle points? What the? You're really, really into glass frogs. What is this about? Why
These
are
are
they,
lovely figurines.
why do you have 1,000,000 glass frogs in your living
So
room?
many knickknacks.
In your living room. They're just piled everywhere.
Something
That's so
else.
odd.
I count 5, 6 cats.
Why is your bed in the living room in front of the television?
Why do I have to get up and change the channel by flipping a dial?
Why do you have 25-year-old oatmeal cream pies inside a glass owl on your
young-
kitchen table?
Young man.
Oh, I've got a treat for you, Rob.
Wow.
This is a hockey puck. No, it's an oatmeal cream pie. Pledger's like, that's not the kind of cream pie I was looking for.
Yes, sir. There we go. I was waiting for the bing, bing. We made it. We did it all the way around the bend, but we brought it home.
It is still a football Monday.
It is.
We've got so much football to talk today, but I got to be honest, man.
I think there's another game, right?
There is another game. College football, this is their whatever you want to say, like the how you think the playoffs have gone. I think for the most part, people are agreeing that the playoffs have been a good thing.
Yeah, success.
I think having that game, the national championship game of football, the National Football College Championship game today is a bit of a misstep.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I haven't even thought about that game. I've given zero thought to that game in the last 72 hours.
Outside of Columbus and every Catholic church in the country,
nobody cares.
nobody has talked a bit about it.
Because all we're thinking about is the NFL. And, I mean, we had really good games in the NFL this weekend. Every game was competitive.
It was. We had a really good weekend.
We had 3 competitive games and 1 massive upset. So it's like that was what.
One of those things is be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you get it.
Yep.
And I think we might have shot our wad. I think it's downhill. I think
the rest of the playoffs?
The fun games that I was really looking forward to ain't going to happen now. We got a couple of unexpected teams in there that now it's gravy. So it's kind of like a Final Four when you get there and you go, oh, that's right, Florida Atlantic's playing. Oh, that's right, San Diego State. That's right. I already bought my tickets, so I'm going to go, but it's San Diego State, Florida Atlantic, you say.
I think Buffalo, Kansas City is going to be fun. I mean,
that's going to be a blast. On the other side of the coin,
I will say this about that other one, like Philly and Washington.
Yeah.
Washington's live. Like
how many times they played each other this year? 4 or 5 times?
This will be the third time.
Third time? Oh.
Third time's a charm,
Feels
they
like
say.
4 or 5 times.
Third time's a charm.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it should be. It's at least an intriguing storyline. The idea that Jayden Daniels is
the Jayden Daniels story is enough. But really, it was kind of like I was kind of looking forward to the other game. I was kind of looking forward to Detroit Philly. No shame. DQ and your successful Commanders and the ridiculous talent from Jayden, but I was kind of looking forward to something else.
Well, what's funny is, I mean, the Lions blew it. The Eagles played like they didn't want to be in the game either. So.
Well, yeah, that's the other part of that game. I don't know. It was a fun weekend.
I just hope
that next week I'm kind of not yawning.
But it's made me kind of push college football to the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know when the right time to do that game is. I don't know if it's the Friday before, like steal the thunder a little bit.
Well, I don't think it's stealing thunder, and I'm not sure if I would want to poke the NFL in maybe Thursday. But it has been 10, 11 days since these guys played, right? Yeah. It's been a long time, so I think you could move it back on the calendar just a minute, and the NFL wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like. Okay, I guess
that's right. We got a game.
It's a college football game. I guess I'm going to watch it. But it's not like I've been clamoring for. Although, hell, it's been a while since I was clamoring for a national championship game anyway, because typically I don't expect them to be very good. And I don't know that this one's going to be all that good.
We got blue bloods, and there's the beginning of something new. So I think that's going to be a good draw. And there's a question or two, but I do think some of the luster is we feel like this could be a blowout. Some of it coming into the week was let's find a way to figure out how the Domers can stay in it. Not win, just stay in it, and then hope something weird happens. And when you hear that from the coaching staff down, let's just keep it close and let Riley Leonard make the difference. That's not a prescription. So there's a puncher's chance, but we would have much rather have seen it last Thursday, I think, as the hype was still kind of boiling. Now you're kind of like, well, let's do this. We got Dr. Pepper prizes to give away. Anybody going to win anything at halftime?
The last 6 seasons, the margin of victory in the college football national championship has been 21, 58, 15, 28, 17, 28. There haven't been a lot of competitive games. Like you talk about the favorites not only covering, but like covering on the alternate lines is what's been going on.
The last good one, was that the Tua game? Or was that a blowout?
Alabama Georgia was the last good one. That was 2017-18.
Oh no, that was before Tua even.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking.
Yeah, see, hey, it's the national championship game. We'll treat it as such, but I get the sense that those that have any kind of power, this is a TV guide decision, though. I mean, they bought this package. They're going to put it wherever they want. But I think if I had my druthers and I was buying advertising time, I would prefer not to be Monday after 6 or 4 phenomenal football games. So
Oh, it was the Tua game. That's right.
It was,
yeah, because that was Jalen Hurts started and then Tua.
That's been 6 years ago?
6 years ago.
Good grief. I'm aging quickly.
Yes.
Hey, but we got it. And, the good news is, for Spurs, all this other stuff's going on as they are plummeting back to earth like a bag of wet cement. 3 consecutive ugly losses. I mean, this is what you expect from a young team, but you don't expect it from this team because they were at 500. This is a team that was trending up, and the wheels have fallen off.
Yeah, and with the trade deadline coming up, it's now to the point where you got to decide what decisions are coming down, and right now it doesn't seem like buying is a wise investment.
I can tell you the Cooper Flag highlights look pretty nice, and those guards up at Rutgers look pretty good. And
yeah,
there's a couple dudes running around down there in Auburn that look pretty nice.
There's a guy at Illinois whose name I can't say, but
kind of schnevis.
Pretty badass.
There's that shooter from Kentucky that looks pretty nice. Pretty good draft, so I can, if that's the direction we're going.
Oh, it'd be awesome to see the Spurs get a draft pick and trade out of it and not use it, or use it on someone that they're going to send to Portugal.
Yeah, my fear is as we wind this thing down, we make a wrong move, but. Here we sit 3 in a row. It's not that surprising that it's happened to a young team like this, but it's kind of an odd time as you kind of hit the skids and you're about to go leave town for a month. It could get really bad really fast.
Well, we'll talk about the Spurs. We'll talk about the college football game that neither one of us are all that hyped up about. I think part of it is also, like, both of these teams are on my Mount Rushmore of teams I hate to see win.
That's true. It's true, and maybe that's some of the allure.
Yeah.
It's like an Aggie watching the Red River rivalry.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what happens, I'm going to be all right with the outcome. Somebody losing.
Yeah, but it's just one of these teams going to pick up a trophy at the end of the night. And, like, I normally would say I would cheer for Ohio State over Notre Dame in most seasons, like, just as a viewer. But I like Marcus Freeman so much more than I like Ryan Day. I don't want Ryan Day to get a trophy. Like, I despise that man. I really do. I
want Ryan Day to show me his kung fu grip. I want him to actually
paint it on beard.
And also, was it the Bionic Man that had the rollback skin? It was the. See, I'm aging myself.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
The $6 million man, if you bought that action figure, you could roll the skin up off of one arm, and you could change out the robotic parts.
Oh, wow.
I think. But he didn't have a beard, so that would have been the G.I. Joe. But see, G.I. Joe had the action team.
Yeah.
And
Ryan Day he looks like
one of the action team members.
One of G.I. Joe's like squad members.
Yeah, he looks like one of the action team. That's what I was going to get to. He looks like one of those dudes.
He's like G.I. Bob.
Yeah, that's what he is.
He's Dollar General G.I. Joe.
That's what I was gonna say. He looks like the one you get like at the shopping store.
Yeah,
your mom's like,
extra.
it's just like him.
Close. So he was the one that
at the Mexican market.
Yeah.
It's G.I. Geo.
Yes, he was the one that always got killed first on the maneuvers.
Mom, is Joe spelled J-E-O?
Yes.
Yeah, honey.
Yo.
G.I.Yo.
G.I.O.
G.I.G.I.O.
G.I.O. See, it's just as good.
With a bang bang there.
His hands don't move, and his leg falls off. I used to have my G.I.
And his
Joes.
head is a Ninja Turtle head.
Dude, if there was an action figure,
why is he a Ninja Turtle but in a soldier's costume?
If I had the action figures like that, they were like the servants to G.I. Joe. We'd get, like G.I. Joe and his boys would roll into the Barbie playhouse, hang by the pool. The Barbies would be bringing them stuff. They had little man servants, which was like my like the Luke Skywalkers.
Luke Skywalker was a servant
He
to
was the
G.I.
little man
Joe?
servants, and G.I. Joe's partied at the Barbie crib.
Man.
Go toilet paper.
Yeah, we'd
Castle Grayskull later.
Yeah, we'd go head over to Grayskull, stomp those little fools, make a full day of it. Head over to the racetrack, watch some Hot Wheels spin by.
Before we get into the college football, we will we'll break down the games from this weekend. We'll start with we'll play taps for the Houston Texans, who
went down in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, it's good job, good effort. Good job, good effort. We'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We did clear that trouble spot on I-10 westbound before 1604. It was a disabled vehicle. 35 upper level southbound, that connector to westbound I-10. That's some ongoing road work downtown. That connector ramp is reduced to one lane. Otherwise, everything else rolling at posted speeds. We do expect a light traffic volume today due to the holiday and the inauguration. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play. Up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
James Fletcher with San Antonio Sports Star here. Have you played Pick 6 from DraftKings? The playoffs are here and time is running out. As the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like no one else. Play for better payouts on Pick 6. It's super easy to get started. Just select 2 or more players, choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. Pick 6 is available in most states including Texas, Missouri, California, Georgia, and more. And DraftKings is making it even sweeter for first-timers. New Pick 6 customers play $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus award is non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back, I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
On Super Sunday, you can be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, it is a big day. We're going to be live out at the Root Pub getting ready for the national championship game.
And, of course, we're talking about all the football action from the weekend.
The Blitz starts at 2 from the Root Pub.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to The Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
This is us walking through the MGM, Rob.
What is that, 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, check. There's nobody at the Sphere.
Nope.
Nope, they're off that weekend.
When the other guys are headed off to the Super Bowl. Rob and I aren't going to the Super Bowl. We're going to Vegas.
We're going to go to Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I used to do an Endeavor Life way back when. For Westwood 1, I used to do the pregame. They would fly me.
Oh, my.
No, it gets better. So they'd fly me in, me and my brother.
Pinky is up.
Yes. So they'd fly my brother and I in, and we would do the show from the radio studio at the top of the tower. What's the
Strat?
At the top of the Strat, there's a radio studio right beneath the roller coaster, like way up there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
I've jumped off the Strat.
Oh God, that's so terrifying to me. I don't even want to get into that.
We did it for my son's 16th birthday. He and I both did it.
Oh my God, just thinking about that gives me heart palpitations. But the stratosphere is so high that we would do the show on Saturday evening we do it Saturday, and then we do the Sunday and then post. So a lot of work. But on the Saturday evening prior, the Strat's so high that when the jets, the Lear jets that are coming in, the private planes, their taxi pattern or their flight pattern would circle. You could see the pilots. You could see the pilots flying the plane.
Pretty wild.
I would. We mooned them.
Well, that's
I
why
showed them my arse.
And that's why you keep getting invited back.
Well, that's why
That's right.
I wonder if that studio's still up there.
I don't know. I didn't see it. But I also didn't go up to that floor with the roller coaster.
It's just
and
that
stuff.
thing. That's horrifying, man.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know why anybody do that. And you jumped off that little. No.
That you stand out on that deck.
Yeah, I know exactly. No.
Oh yeah.
Anyhow. So
rush.
yeah, we're gonna be in Vegas
rush.
for the Super Bowl, but we're there for a fight, and there will be a Super Bowl. But I'll be honest with you. I felt like last night was the Super Bowl.
I hope you're right. We'll get to that game. We've got to start with the Texans. Throw dirt on their season. They fall to the Kansas City Chiefs 23-14 in a game that was probably closer than the final score would indicate.
Very much closer.
Even though, I mean, the weird move of the Chiefs taking that safety at the end of the game, which, let me address this, because there was a lot of people saying, oh, they got the call from Vegas. 9, which was the final result, is literally the worst number for Vegas, because that game sat at 8.5 all week long. Everybody who wanted to bet Kansas City minus 8.5 bet Kansas City minus 8.5, and everybody who wanted to bet Houston plus 9.5, which means 9 sucked for Vegas. They did not want 9 because now they lose both.
Yeah, well, 9 was perfect for everybody I was with.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of partying with the safety.
Yeah. And if you waited,
rounds of liquor bought all across the country when that happened.
If you waited to bet Kansas City until game day, you get what you deserve. There was a better number all week. All week you could have had 8.5.
You know,
even 8s were out there.
So you have that in combination with just two just outrageous calls. Just like the kind of calls that will require meetings when the season is done, where you go, we can no longer have this.
The thing that drives me the craziest about this Mahomes thing, and listen, I think there's bad officiating in every NFL game. I mean, there was a play last night that got called a hold on Buffalo where the guy literally just fell down.
I'll forgive that. I'll forgive the in the heat of the moment kind of stuff. I understand it's humans, but I also know when there's a shade going on, when there is a legitimate protect this cat, this thing at all costs.
The thing that peeved me the most, and still peeves me, because generally I think Patrick Mahomes is a very likable guy, except when they lost to Buffalo and Josh Allen went to shake his hand and Patrick Mahomes was just bitching about the refs because they lined up offsides.
Oh yeah, but you get what you tolerate, and he's used to getting everything he wants.
It's like, I can't believe this, man. It's just terrible officiating, man. And it's like, dude, you just lost the game. Shake his hand and walk off the field. But like he's incapable of it going against him. But every time it's for him, it's like, we're just out there playing the game, man.
It's just gamesmanship, which I get. I mean, I hated Manu. I mean, I can see why people hated Manu and Bruce Bowen and guys who just use the rules to their advantage. I get it. I hate James Harden to this day for taking the rules and undoing them and putting them back together.
Put your head down, drive to the basket, and then flop your arms in the air.
That's the glitch. I get it. I understand. I hate it, but that's how it is. And if he was my guy, I'd love it. So I understand why he's doing it, because he's that smart. He knows he can get away with it. But we got to fix this. This is something that has gone too far, and we got to bring it back.
Well, the Texans didn't do themselves any favors. Like, offensively, they were just dreadful.
Well, the better team won. I'm not upset with the outcome, other than there was the potential for an upset that could have occurred because the Texans played well enough to win that football game. Not that they should have won. There's a lot of things, but when you look at the numbers and watch the plays, despite, like you were saying, they played well enough to win the game, and the difference was a couple of key plays. Now, whether the Texans were capable of capitalizing on that, we'll never know.
The first penalty that they threw on Will Anderson, like in real time, I thought it sucked. But when you watch the replay, yeah, they're going to call that. Like and when Will Anderson says we knew what we were up against. Well, if you knew that, then you can't take chances on going high when, like, it's real simple to go at his chest. And
if Chris Jones does that, does he get a flag?
No, he doesn't.
See?
But it's just, that one, at least by the rule of the book, that's a legit call. The second one is Patrick Mahomes playing with the rules, the slide when I act like I'm not gonna slide and then slide at the last second and barely get touched and they act like I got beheaded. Well, that's the part that bothers me.
That shouldn't even be just a no call. That should be a personal foul. It should be a flopping.
Unsportsmanlike penalty?
Yes, because the next time Trevor gets knocked out, it's because Pat Mahomes gives the hezzy. The next time the other quarterback who's legitimately trying to go down but stumbles a little bit and looks like he might not be and gets utterly obliterated, it's because Pat Mahomes does that.
Yeah. And then thank God they didn't throw a flag on the one where he, like, swan dived off the sideline, like acted like
that little stumble there. No,
acted like he got shot. Give me a break.
So I get, and in the break, James was saying,
these refs just are not treating me right.
And in the break, James was saying it wasn't a good look for the Texans coming out and bitching. You're right, it never is. But in this occasion, when you have Troy Aikman in the booth and everybody paying really close attention to this because of the line, and we see this, and you go, man, this just ain't right. We like to think that the ultimate equalizer in all of this is Vegas, that everything has to remain absolutely perfect on board. There can be no question, and Vegas is the reason it always will be. And then you see this and go, well, it's not. Because those are judgment calls, and the judgment always falls Kansas City way. And that Will Anderson call, while the judgment always falls on Kansas City, I think that the refs were eager to throw a flag, waiting for Will Anderson to just go a little high. That flag was up awfully fast. It wasn't like the ref thought about it for a second and went, oh, no, boom. There wasn't any question.
And I disagree with Joe on the catch from Dalton Schultz was definitely incomplete. I don't think it was. I don't think it certainly wasn't going to overturn it. But he had the ball pinned to his body. Like that's a catch.
Looked like it to me, but then again, 10 years ago, Dez caught it. So I still don't know what catch is.
That is true. All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back. We'll keep talking football. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We did clear that trouble spot on I-10 westbound before 1604. It was a disabled vehicle. 35 upper level southbound, that connector to westbound I-10. That's some ongoing road work downtown. That connector ramp is reduced to one lane. Otherwise, everything else rolling at posted speeds. We do expect a light traffic volume today due to the holiday and the inauguration. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Has a loved one died and left you an old car to sell? GiveMeTheVin.com has just launched the new service, GMTVCC.com. Write this down, GMTVCC.com, which is Give Me the VIN classic and collector car buying service. GMTVCC.com will hook you up with GMTVCC Pro buyers that will appraise and offer on that 69 Chevelle, old Corvette, old truck, and especially Restomods. We love Restomods at GMTVCC.com. Don't mess with consignments or auctions. Get paid today on your classic or collector car at GMTVCC.com. ProgressiveCasualtyInsuranceCompany.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box, or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? HIMS can help. Get started at hims.com/joy. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, easycater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box, or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We got to start giving these producers less creative control over what music gets played.
Why?
This isn't your vibe, Rob.
I don't know who this is. But half the time, I don't know who it is.
Morning Huddle 94.1.
Who is this?
I've got no idea. I don't listen to this garbage.
It's AJR.
Yeah, I don't listen to this nonsense.
AJR?
Yeah. This is pleasure music.
Is this on the TikToks? Which was gone and now it's back?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the funny thing about this is, across the country, there are people like my father who've been reading about this in the newspaper, like the hard print newspaper.
Uh-huh.
And last night we're sitting around, and my dad goes, what do you think about the old TikToks? From my 85-year-old dad.
There was some
the old TikToks being gone.
There was a great I saw a great meme. It was like, in the same night, Washington destroyed TikTok and the Detroit Lions.
Well, Detroit Lions fans like my dad.
Like, man, the Detroit Lions, that's still going. That's
the old TikToks. What do you think about
They didn't reverse that one?
At least for TikTok, it was only 12 hours.
Right. Yeah, the Lions, the pain lives on. The pain lives on. Did you walk away from that game feeling like what are your thoughts on the Chiefs? Like, do you feel like this is the best team in the NFL? This is still the team to beat in the NFL?
Yeah, I do. They're playing better every week. They played really well yesterday. They did. I think it was they overcame a pretty solid defensive effort from the Texans.
They did.
And defensively,
I mean, the Texans' offensive line is just dreadful.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what to take away defensively. I mean, they've been just good enough all year, and I guess that's good enough. Until you beat them, it's hard to argue. I mean, they play ugly. They want you to play ugly. They force you into situations that put Mahomes in position to be successful. And 9 times out of 10, the dude's going to come through for you. I mean, it's a great formula. It's not pretty, but it's absolutely damn effective.
Yeah. I don't think that while I agree with you, they are getting better. I still don't think they're Baltimore, Buffalo good.
I don't either. I felt like last night was the Super Bowl. But
there's also the idea that, yeah, you're right. You're going to have to go in there and beat them and hope that the calls go your way or at least go even. Like, things have to – there's outside circumstances that you got to – and also the fact that the other outside circumstances, Patrick Mahomes has done this 100 times, and Josh Allen hasn't won the big game.
Well, last night he did. Last night was as big a game, one in a way that didn't require everything from Josh Allen. I mean, Josh didn't have a great game last night. He had a very good game. He had an effective – he was the quarterback. In every sense of the word, he did exactly what was required. And if you ask me, if in the progression of Josh Allen, how would you want him to? If you're going to win the game, but how do you want him to? Do you want him to go out and have the MVP, superstar, everything performance, or would you rather go win the football game with your defense giving you what it got you, that running game doing what it did against a great defense and holding and doing what it did? I'd pick that way. Because I know Josh can take a game over.
Yeah.
I know that. I can give him the ball. And they gave him the ball 2 times at the end. And discretion, the better part of valor, they went, you know what? We don't need him today. Let's kick a field goal and play some defense. We're good enough.
Yeah.
That was a pivotal change in the time frame, in the time of the Buffalo Bills.
Well, we'll see if it's enough. We'll get into that game pretty deep here in a minute. We'll see if it's enough to carry him through Kansas City. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, easycater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com. Hi, welcome to IKEA. How can I help you? My schedule is crazy. I just want some me time. We could all use a sanctuary from stress. Why not turn your bedroom into the place to decompress with our selection of comfortable beds, pillows, decor, mood lighting, and so much more? Every time you step in there, it's nothing but me time. I mean, you time. Sounds like a dream. Here to make your me time dreams come true. Visit us in-store or at ikea-usa.com/sleep to create a comfy, blissful bedroom today.
Joel, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E. Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite, now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 113 through 124. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Now you know what we're talking about here, Bubba.
We're more of a classic rock.
That's right, Bubba.
The AJR, that's just, you know. And I slipped away. Is this Boston? Need a pack of cigs and a heavy bud.
That's right. Like the kind of beer can that you pop and you take the whole top off That kind of beer?
Oh, like a Mickey's Big Mouth?
No,
or
like
the
kind of
pull tab?
Yeah, like a pull
My
tab.
first beer had pull tabs, brother.
Yeah.
Back when you could not walk around barefooted. Back then, we all had leather bottom feet because those pop tops take a toe with
They
them.
would put a hurting on you.
Those things hurt.
The Texans, as their season ended, they are losing a handful of guys. Stephon Diggs, a free agent.
Do you think they're going to lose him?
I don't know. You want to pay him?
Let's ask our resident Texan, James.
Yeah, you're not going to have.
Would you pay Diggs?
Yeah.
I think so. I'd pay Diggs.
Knowing that pretty soon Nico Collins is going to have to be the guy who's going to get real money.
They just extended him this offseason.
Yeah, but even if I did, I'd worry about that later. My priority if I'm the Texans is, Steph, I'm going to pay you, but give me a couple of weeks. I got to go find some linemen. But first priority is fix the offensive line through the draft, through the trades, through free agency, whatever. I gotta protect this diamond that is C.J. Stroud.
So
after that, I pay Steph Diggs.
When the time comes, you let Tank Dell walk away?
Ooh.
We're not going to see him this year, probably.
Yeah, man. And the injuries, what's the best ability? I mean, Herm told us the best, right? So,
Jerry Hughes is going to be gone. Jeff Okudah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some guys I don't feel bad about. How important is Slowick? The OC, for those that don't remember.
I mean, CJ's been blessed that he's had the same guy.
Yeah.
You know, anytime young quarterbacks who have continuity at that position, I think is so vital. And like Justin Herbert, who never had it. Every year he got a new OC, and I think it's probably stunted what he could be.
Likely, but let's not let that last taste that was pretty good get in the way of a season that really was not, at least in your mind and a lot of people's mind, not up to snuff.
CJ's?
Yeah.
He was not very good this year.
But that last game was enough to say Slowick and the continuity is more important?
I mean, I think so.
I'm not arguing. I kind of agree with that. But, I just remember a year ago today, Slowick was Ben Johnson. Like there's one thing the Texans got to do is hold on to Slowick, and they did.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions, and this game against Kansas City raised even more of them because what are you doing using your worst blocking tight end to block their best edge? So
that's a Ryan's question. That's a D'Amico Ryan's coaching
question. That's an offensive coordinator question. That's his game plan. That's his strategy. That's not even a Strasser fault, even though they can pick up simple gains and twists.
And Strasser is the
most
offensive
of the year.
line coach.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that guy's done.
Yeah.
Right?
They've been, the interior of that offensive line is awful. Laramie Tunsil's a walking penalty, but you've paid him so much money that you're kind of stuck. And he's not, other than the penalties, he's not a bad player. He's just, you paid him like he was the best guy in the world, and he's not that anymore. It looks like Blake Fisher is pretty solid on the other side, but the whole middle of that offensive line probably needs to go. And the Texans only have 5 picks in the draft. And, I mean, how many rookie offensive linemen do you really ever want starting on the same offensive line?
Oh, I think you could get away with 3. Ask the Cowboys.
Well, ask them how it worked out. But so I think the Texans, Caserio is going to have to go get some guys in free agency and then supplement through the draft.
But after that, I think Diggs is a dude that, he's a bell cow. There's issues, but
let me ask you this: if they cost the same, would you rather have T. Higgins or Stephon Diggs?
They
I
won't
like
cost
Diggs.
the same.
Yeah, they're about the same, but I like
Stephon
Diggs.
Diggs is going to ask for a bunch of money, dude.
Yeah,
he's
he
going to
might.
ask for a bunch of
Do
money.
you think there's another team that'll pay him?
No.
See, that's the other
know.
thing. And this is a team on the come.
Yeah, there's going to be some like the Panthers or somebody they'll throw a bunch of money at him.
It's possible, but there's a reason why I like having a diva number 1 because he does create a fair amount of gravity. I like having a wide receiver that good, bad, or indifferent, whether he's playing well or telling you he's playing well, which might be 2 entirely different things, at least the defense is going to have to pay attention to him. 1, maybe 2 dudes. And if I can get that advantage, I'll pay for that.
All I know is the Bills are a lot better off without him. Like that's what I see. Like it's like addition by subtraction.
I don't
that
think
guy's he's a pain in the ass. And the last thing CJ needs is someone barking in his ear, bitching about how much he wants to.
Well, no, I don't think there's a problem with that.
Especially on this team where he's not the best receiver.
Once they do figure out what the hierarchy is. I don't have a problem with the diva wide receiver.
Nico Collins is the best receiver on the Texans.
Probably.
Period.
But can he be a number one? Because
I think so, yeah.
I think he efforted a lot of time under the shadow of Diggs that requires attention. And whether it's deserved or not, the attention is what matters. And if I can get the defense focused in 1.5, 2 dudes every play on this guy, just because he's barking at a quarterback and demanding the ball, I've got an advantage. So I'll pay for that as long as we don't get to the point like you're talking about, where it becomes a distraction like he did in Buffalo. Once that gets out of hand, then you got to let him go. But that's the price you pay for divas. That's why those guys bounce around, because OCs know that the gravity they create sometimes is worth the headache.
Yeah. Bills made a big mistake when they traded that draft pick. They traded Justin Jefferson basically for Stephon Diggs. They could have had Justin Jefferson instead of this dude.
Well,
God, it makes me sick all the time.
Too.
It's almost as bad as when the Bills traded to let the Chiefs take Patrick Mahomes. That was maybe a bit of a misstep.
Well,
whoops.
A minute or two. But even then, if that had happened and Mahomes would have walked into Buffalo, because when I saw him, had a cast on his hand, and he was from where? Lubbock. So no, I don't really blame him for that.
All right, we got to hit a break. We'll be back. We'll get into that Ravens Bills game from last night that I think was the game of the weekend. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Rise it hot!
South Texas home of the College Football Playoff National Championship is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. After 10 games that started back on December 20th, only one is left. Number 7 Notre Dame versus the highly favored number 8 seed Ohio State. The College Football Playoff National Championship today at 5:30. Brought to you by Ewald Kubota, The Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue on South Texas' first FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hello, it's Robin Roberts here.
Hey guys, it's George Stephanopoulos here.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Strahan here. Wake up with Good Morning America.
Robin, George, Michael, GMA, America's favorite #1 morning show. The morning's first breaking news, exclusive interviews, what everyone will be talking about that day. Put some good in your morning and start your day with GMA.
Good Morning America.
Put the good in your morning. GMA 7A on ABC.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box, or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Hi, Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right, you don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away. And no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start your free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play. Up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Make it your New Year's resolution to drink better beer. That's what I'm talking about. Who needs dry January? Let's go all in with Karbach, baby. Karbach Brewing out of Houston, but they love San Antonio, and their beer is all over the city. Their head brewer came here and said, we want San Antonio to be a priority market for us, so they have put their beer all over our fair town. From Hopadillo, their in-your-face hopped IPA, to Love Street, which is their blonde Kolsch-style beer, and it's their best seller, by the way. On top of that, the Crawford Bock, which is one of my personal favorites. There's something for everyone in Karbach's lineup. So go to the grocery stores, go to the liquor stores, they're going to have it, and you might be surprised. All the bars and restaurants that you might think not have it probably do have some Karbach behind the bar. So whenever you're out watching football, watching playoff football, ask the bartender, please make it a Karbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, right now we are in good shape. No major incidents going on right now. Now, we do have that road work on 35 upper level southbound, that connector to get onto westbound I-10. The connector ramp reduced to one lane. Right now, it's about a 25-minute commute, 1604 westbound I-10 on over to 281. Should take you about 20 minutes, 1604 northbound I-10 on up to 35. Right now on 35 northbound, Loop 410 to 1604, 5-6 minutes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Conference championship weekend is set. The Chiefs will host the Bills as Buffalo held off Baltimore 27-25 last night, while Kansas City beat the Houston Texans 23-14 on Saturday. On the NFC side, the Eagles will host the Commanders as Washington took down the Detroit Lions 45-31, and the Eagles held off the Rams 28-22 behind Saquon Barkley's 205 and 2 tutties. The Spurs fell 128-107 to Miami last night, dropping to 19-22 on the year and losing 3 consecutive games. They were paced by Devin Vassell's 23. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Rolling on through on a Monday. Lone Star Fox says Commanders have $70 million in cap space for the 2025 offseason. Scary, huge number. Yeah, it is. I think it's, I mean, that's their effective cap space is like 71, something like that. The Patriots have $112 million of effective cap space.
The thing is, even though you got a lot of money, doesn't mean you got to spend it all. You know, there's not $112 million worth of talent floating around, quite frankly.
Well, with the Patriots, you could probably throw a rock into a crowd and hit someone who could play for the Patriots.
I think they could spread this mayonnaise pretty thin. There's not a superstar
they need
to get.
They need a lot of just average players.
Well, but the problem with that is Washington got that kind of money, so those average players, the value just went up. So
think about that. That could happen. T. Higgins to New England, James Rice.
I wouldn't be shocked. The first thing they need to do is go help out young quarterback.
Oh, yes.
With tight end, fullback, whatever it might be. Ask what he needs first.
The teams with the most available cap space, Patriots number 1 by a mile. Raiders 2, they've got $85 million. The Commanders are 3rd at 71. Cardinals 4th at 68. Vikings 5th at 57. That's what happens when you're not paying a quarterback.
Yeah.
And Chargers 6th at $55 million, which Chargers finally dug their way out of the hole they were in.
For the first time in a long time, I think the teams that actually need to spend the money, need all the cash possible, actually have it.
Now, the least right now, the worst cap situations, the negative cap situations as it stands today, the Saints are by far the worst.
They're smart.
$57 million.
Gosh, they're good.
Over the cap.
You know what? They keep their books about like I kept our checkbook.
My favorite thing to watch every offseason is how the Saints get from the worst negative cap balance to under the cap every year.
Mickey Loomis is a wizard, man.
A 19-year-old with a Discover card is what they
Hey, though, for a team that is financially in a hole like this, they're so much better off than some teams that have been financially suitable. I mean, they win enough games to justify how they do business. And Mickey Loomis, a lot like the Dallas Cowboys have done for a long time, is the master of kicking the can down the road.
Well, you know who's the second worst cap situation next year? The Cleveland Browns.
Well, that's
they have not done much with that.
Yeah. But they did get Deshaun to renegotiate down a little bit before his second surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at least they're paying him a little bit less.
The Seahawks, about $31 million in the hole. Dolphins, Falcons, Bills, Cowboys, Texans, Chiefs.
So those are all the teams in the negatives.
All in the red.
So they're going to have all those teams are going to have to make a cut or two. Of that list of teams, who's in the best situation?
The Falcons, because if the Falcons get away from Kirk Cousins, they still have a viable quarterback.
I get it.
You can still picture a world where they are okay.
So being in the negatives is not the worst place to be. It really isn't. In the NFL, I don't think it's as bad as it sounds.
No, it's not that bad. You can figure. And
there's always change in the cushions.
Especially, some of the you're going to get rid of some guys anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's just part of the deal. Like some of these guys aren't going to be back. And what's bad is when you're way over the cap and you're a bad team.
Which New England's a bad team, but they're not over the cap, so they should have the money. That's why you just sit in dread as a Cowboy fan. You just go, man. It's not like they're getting out from underneath stuff. It's about to get worse.
Yeah,
it's not getting any better.
Yeah, that is going to be a looming problem. The Bills getting that win last night over the Ravens.
It's a placeholder. It's a semicolon, dude. The true battle. The turning of the page, the writing of the new chapter will not be until next week, man. This was a necessary step for Josh Allen. It ain't the destination. He's got to get to the Super Bowl, man, and he's got to beat Pat Mahomes to do it.
I remember the first time they played in the AFC Championship, like this iteration, like Josh Allen when he made the AFC Championship game, and they went up 9-0, and I was like, okay, it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's finally happening.
Felt like it.
And then I want to say the Chiefs went on like a 38-6 run. And it was like, what the hell just happened? And then the Bills score like 9 meaningless points at the end of the game. I'm pretty sure that was the final, 38-24. Seems like I think that was the final. But I remember explicitly them having a lead and me going, okay. Even though they missed an extra point after they scored the touchdown, and I was kind of like, okay, I hope that doesn't haunt in the end. It turned out it didn't haunt in the end because the Chiefs just steamrolled them for the rest of the game. But
I'll tell you
it's
this.
It's got to happen eventually.
Then start out ahead, or the last 2 games, Buffalo just spots the other team a touchdown. Well, they've given up 14 points in the first 4 minutes of the last 2 games. So there's that side of the coin, or being up 9 over Kansas City. I don't know what or why it has happened to them 2 consecutive weeks. I say this, you are not going to come back from 7-0 down to Kansas City. You can't spot them that.
You want to hear a wild stat? The Ravens in the last decade are now 0-23 when losing by 11 or more points at halftime.
Well, there's one common denominator there, man.
I mean, they're not a team that's built to come from behind.
It's the head coach. It is the structure. It is the style. It is the epitome, and that is the.
Well, it's also an offense that's built to run the ball.
Well, that's the medicine that you have to take when you take on a Harbaugh team. That when you're behind, you don't come back. The good news is you're pretty good at holding on to leads, but if you're behind, there's no comeback coming because there's no part of the playbook that says let's open it up.
The Bills are 42-2. When leading by 11 or more at halftime over that same span.
I think every great team will have a very good-looking number
But
there.
I don't know if I said this stat on Friday, but in the history of the NFL, no quarterback has been better against the first half spread than Lamar Jackson has. And no quarterback in the history of the NFL has been better in the second half against the spread than Josh Allen.
Well, I'm not mad at Lamar, but at some point, if not now, when? And this wasn't one of those years because, my God, the gauntlet he was going to have to go through.
It was one or the other. One of these two guys was going to get the step and one wasn't.
And I don't want to be mad at Lamar because he lost to Josh Allen. I wouldn't want to be Josh Allen if they had lost to Lamar. Yeah. You go, man, you're great, but he just didn't have enough. But Lamar, you're starting to write something down that's no longer going to be in pencil. You're about to be the guy that just can't do it, the Charles Barkley of the NFL. I mean, you're headed in that direction.
Yeah. It's tough, though, man. Obviously getting through Mahomes at the end is always going to be a challenge. But the idea that even to get to him, you're probably every single year that you exist going to have to either beat Josh Allen or Joe Burrow along the way, and C.J. Stroud is on the come. It's a tough road, man. The AFC quarterbacking is insanely good.
It's the NBA of the 90s, man. You're going to we have a bunch of asterisks, a bunch of guys that, but for that one dude, would have been something else.
Yep. Now, again, you're right. The Bills, it does feel like it's now or never because, what do you got to do?
Because Mahomes and Lamar will be back next year.
They will be.
And mad if they don't get it done. So it's primed, but my gosh, here we go again. You got to go through Kansas City to get it done.
I'm waiting for Lucy to pull the football because, I'm foolish enough right now to let myself believe, which I hate
believe
when I
because
do.
You want Buffalo won the way they had to win to further the belief that it's not just Josh Allen. It has to be a team effort for Buffalo to get where they're going. You can't just fall back on Josh right, Josh left, Josh give us a miracle. That the defense came to play and they ran the football and the arm wasn't necessary. And when Josh couldn't do it, the discretion was the better part of valor. It's 2 yards. Let's kick a field goal and trust our defense. That's how you needed to win, and they did it.
I think there are 3 guys who you can point the finger at for losing that game for Baltimore, and we will point that finger next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with autopay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without autopay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo, Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Old Spice Swagger Body Wash will make you the MVP of freshness and confidence. With its irresistible scent, it will transform your shower experience, leaving you feeling fresh on and off the field. Pair it with Old Spice Swagger Deodorant, the #1 aluminum-free brand that keeps you feeling like a Super Bowl champion 24/7 when used daily. But don't wait. This dynamic duo is available at Costco for a limited time only. Old Spice, official deodorant partner of the NFL and Super Bowl 59, where freshness meets football greatness.
Rise and hot! South Texas home of the college football playoff national championship is 94-1 San Antonio Sports Star. After 10 games that started back on December 20th, only one is left. Number 7 Notre Dame versus the highly favored number 8 seed Ohio State. The college football playoff national championship today at 5:30. Brought to you by Ewald Kubota, The Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue on South Texas' first FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle 94.1. I think that everybody's going to say Mark Andrews cost the Ravens that game. And
he didn't help.
He certainly didn't help. And it was a really bad time for Mark Andrews to have the worst game of his career, where not only the second fumble in his life, like, I mean, what are the odds? And then more drops in this game than he had on the season. I mean, Mark Andrews is a pretty sure-handed dude, and that's why Lamar trusts him over everybody. Just a painful end for him. And quite frankly, that's what he gets for going to Oklahoma. I think we can all agree on that. That's
in our group text. Minix called it a Jackie Smith moment, and it will be. Baltimore fan is going to relive that drop.
Oh yeah,
20 years.
But there are two other guys I think that deserve some fault in this game. One is Lamar Jackson, who did not play very well. Quite frankly, Lamar Jackson, 2 key turnovers. That fumble was a 14-point swing. They were going to score, and then that fumble goes back the other way. The Bills score immediately. That's a huge swing in the game. The interception was just a really not even close to anyone on his team.
He wasn't accurate. He wasn't accurate. Now, I know the weather was bad, and I don't expect a whole lot, but that was as bad a game as you can play and still be moderately successful. I mean, he's a star enough, and the team was good enough to overcome some of this, but they lost because their quarterback did not have the kind of game that he had to have in that kind of game. Yeah. That's at the end of the day what it was, and it was his fault. Andrews dropped the ball. You're the one who fumbled it twice. They were in the situation they were in, one, because they forgot about the running back, and two, they put too much pressure or responsibility on Lamar's back again, and yet again you're watching playoff and Super Bowls.
Well, that's the third guy. John Harbaugh, it's inexplicable to me that Derrick Henry ran the ball 16 times. 16. I would have had Derrick Henry run 16 times in the first half. 16 carries, 84 yards. That's just 5.3 yards per carry. Knowing that you get, 4 downs per drive, seems like you keep feeding that guy, you're gonna get some first downs. On top of that, on top of going away from Derrick Henry,
did Mark Andrews have 2 carries?
Yeah, yeah.
So, you tied in almost had as many carries as your stud.
On top of the one drive where the Ravens had one drive where I think they went there was 68 or 70 rushing yards on one drive. They just buried the Bills, took it all the way down the field, punched it in, and then it was the first time they went for 2. The Bills were so banged up, they were so beaten and just downtrodden after that drive. And the call to throw there on the 2-point conversion try is baffling to me. You just ran the ball on them 8 times in a row and walked into the end zone, and now you're going to get cute and try to do a little jump pass? Are you kidding me? That's great. That's point shaving, John Harbaugh.
Well, if executed correctly, we all go brilliant. But you didn't need to be brilliant. It wasn't like you didn't have to be smart. You just needed to do what you had done 6 consecutive plays. So I get the idea. You think you're going to be the smartest guy in the room when you didn't have to be. There wasn't a threat of them stopping. Now,
what do you think Philly does on 4th and goal in the Super Bowl with the game on the line? Do you think they fake a tush push and then throw it? No, they do what works.
And, Sirianni is in a different position than Harbaugh. I think Sirianni is literally kind of coaching for his job, so he's not going to do anything stupid. I mean, I'm going to run Saquon, and if you fire me for running Saquon, fire me, Harbaugh, he's safe.
Sirianni's got a Super Bowl ring a lot more recently than John Harbaugh
I know,
does.
but I think Sirianni legit couldn't risk anything. He had to coach like his life depended on it, where Harbaugh, hey, we'll go for it, and it didn't work. I'll be back next year. I legit think that. And if you're coaching for your life, you go with what got you there. And Saquon got you there, man, and they rode him all day. Derrick Henry was forgotten. I don't understand when you go into a situation where it's going to be snowing, where that your quarterback has had issues in holding on to, keeping leads, and forget about a dude that's carrying at over 5 yards a clip.
Yeah. And quite frankly, if it wasn't for the turnovers, the Ravens were better than Buffalo yesterday.
They were, but the turnovers, that's the difference, man. This is what conference titles look like. Most teams are pretty equal. So that's the separation is the turnovers and the penalties. That's what it comes down to, unless one is just that much better. And we didn't have it this year. And in every one of these games, turnovers and penalties made the difference.
Yep.
The lack of the call or the over-efficiousness, depending on it, that was the separation in both those games.
Other noteworthy from that game is Amari Cooper is a ghost. Like, he is a waste of a roster spot at this point. He got on the field for one play, the ball went through his hands, and he's back all on the sideline.
Yep.
Like, there was he showed a little bit when he first got there, and now that's gone. Like, they don't even use him. He's out of the rotation now. So it's like they trust Shakir more. They trust freaking Mac Hollins more. They trust Curtis Samuel more. They trust rookie Keon Coleman more. They trust everybody more than they trust Amari Cooper. Everybody.
But Amari will tell you he's probably got a pretty good Bitcoin investment.
Oh, he better.
He'll probably tell you his portfolio is kicking ass.
His football time is likely not for much longer. But yeah, man, that's I as someone who's been on the other side of a lot of those kicking the balls games, the Ravens they're not gonna forget this game anytime soon.
They should have been on their way, man. Their best player and their coach just didn't bring their A game. I'm not going to say let them down because it's a team thing, but when your best player has his worst game, it's really hard to win.
Yep, it really is, man. It really is. And that's the I also heard someone say if the Ravens had just kicked extra points both those times, it's a tie game.
There's something to it.
I do think that when they went for two the first time and tried to tie it with all that time left, in the third, so you're going for two in the third quarter?
Yeah, the coaching manual says not to do that. But when I got Derrick Henry and I got Lamar, I think I could probably get it in there.
Well, give it to Derrick Henry if you're going to
do a jump pass to my. I wouldn't have done that, but I get the idea.
The Bills are 1.5-point underdogs at Kansas City in the next round.
So by your math, a neutral, they're up. They're favored.
Yeah. Yeah, the market thinks the Bills are better than the Chiefs. All right. Let's hit a break. When we come back, we will get into these NFC games. A couple of guys who are just dragging corpses to the finish line get the job done. We'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'll tell you what I did last night, Rob, while I was watching that game. I was drinking some Crawford Box.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Pounding some Crawford Box, baby. Nothing goes with a sweet, sweet victory like a Crawford Box. And they've got something for everybody's taste, man. If you're not into the box, that's all right. They got IPAs. The Hopadillo is their best-selling IPA. It is a very hop-forward, in-your-face, bitter-type hop beer. Delicious. And their bestseller overall is the Love Street Blonde Kolsch-style ale, which you can find pretty much all over San Antonio now. Most of Carbox beer is all over San Antonio now, guys. They made San Antonio a key market, a priority market, and they have distributed their beer all over our fair city. So when you're out at a bar, you're out at a restaurant this weekend, maybe tonight you're watching the national championship game, go ahead and ask your bartender, please make it a Carbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute right now, we are in good shape. We are expecting light traffic volume today due to the holiday. Now, it is going to take you almost 30 minutes on 1604 westbound from I-10 to 281. That's your usual travel time. And then 1604 northbound I-10 to 35 through the Live Oak area. That's about 20 minutes. On 35 northbound, Loop 410 to 1604, 5-6 minutes. And I-10 eastbound, 410 to 1604, 5-7-minute ride. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Now at North Park Chevrolet, buy a new 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, posted at $34,999. Lease for $370 a month with zero down. Get 3.9% financing for 75 months on new 2025 Silverado Crew Cab Texas editions. And save $10,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Silverado heavy duty trucks. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Joel, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box, or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like in Buffalo.
It's going to suck.
And you know what the bad thing for Denver is? It's a different kind of cold in Buffalo than it is in Denver. Denver's like, hoity-toity snow. Buffalo's like dirty and gritty and working man kind of stuff.
Of all the BS I've heard from you through the years, you spouting weather BS is just too much.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, this is Greedy. Join me today at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh! Doink! I'm watching the replay of that's the play you called in the third quarter after Derrick Henry just walked into the end zone on you. Doink! Throw it into the middle of the linebacking core.
Oh! The ball's cold and slippery.
And Terrell Bernard just came up and it was Dude, I mean, he had his fist cocked from a mile away.
Tell me, when you saw Allen get stacked up on that second goal line, when he was trying to pitch, you didn't go, oh, no!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. Every Buffalo Bill Mafia member in the world went, for the love of God, go down.
I'm telling you, I don't know why I feel this way, because I know it's flawed logic. But never once yesterday did I feel like Josh Allen was going to make a mistake.
I thought it was imminently possible.
I did. I don't know why I thought that, but in my head I was like, I know Lamar is going to make mistakes, and I know Josh isn't, and that's got to be the difference in the game. And it really actually was. But
2 years ago, Josh pitches that ball. Last year, Josh pitches
you're probably
that
right.
ball.
I'm telling you, man, he's on a different level right now. God, he better win the MVP. He better win the MVP.
Well,
I feel like on Black Panther when he said, "This is your king. This is your king." If I were Josh Allen, I'd be, "This is him. This is your MVP."
Well, his team won, and he. And the thing about it was that wasn't an MVP performance. No. He didn't look like the MVP.
He ran in 2 touchdowns.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying the best thing that could have happened to Buffalo in the transition was they did it without him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they did it despite when they. It
was a rock fight game. I mean, the whole game was a rock fight game.
To kick it and rely on the defense, not to go for it and try to lock the game down. Just kick the field goal and put your defense out there with an 8-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, you had to go up by a touchdown. You had to.
You had to. But the thought process by many would be, I got Lamar Jackson on the other side. I can't trust the fact that him giving him the ball back.
But unlike when they did it with Mahomes, once you're up 8, you know you're going to get another chance.
No matter what, and I agree with that. But you also give them a chance.
Yeah.
You know,
and they did. They took it. All except the 2-point conversion.
Just brilliant. I just think that's the transition that Buffalo had to go through. That we can do it even if our best dude doesn't have his best game.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's vintage Josh on Sunday. And
I thought last night was the Super Bowl. We got another one coming. We'll have 3 Super Bowls.
3 Super Bowls for Bills fans. That's fun. Yeah, that is exciting. The NFC games. The game yesterday, let's start there with the Eagles-Rams game. This is the second week in a row I've said, I'm not sure that the Eagles are as good as I thought they were. And they won, but I'm not sure the Eagles are as good as I thought they were.
Or is McVay just a wizard? Just an absolute sees the future, right call, right game plan, right dude, right place, right time kind of stuff.
He's one of the 3 or 4 best coaches in the world. And I really believe that.
They weren't even close to being equally talented. It wasn't even close. You go man for man up and down that roster. There might be 5 Rams that start for the Eagles. Seriously. And luckily, one of them's the quarterback. And Stafford was brilliant in defeat. They just didn't have enough. And
the turnovers killed them too. Kyron Williams fumbles for the first time since week 1. I mean, he fumbled twice in week 1. And then hadn't fumbled since, and then he fumbles, and then Matt Stafford, that fumble was tough.
Awful. That's a cold weather fumble to me.
Oh, no doubt, because he didn't hit the ball; they just hit his arm and his hand slipped. But that was a kick in the balls for them. It's just Saquon Barkley, and again, credit where it's due because the Ravens didn't figure this out. When you have that guy, you just keep giving it to him.
Yeah, throw the rib shot. Eventually,
something breaks every single time. Something's going to break. And Saquon, he broke 2 of them and was just phenomenal. He is dragging this otherwise kind of meh offense. I shouldn't say Saquon. That offensive line is incredible. So
I don't blame him for running the ball over and over, but it is kind of, as we watch Kellen Moore interview for another job, the offense is not brilliant. The offense is obvious, which I don't blame. Do what's good, but he's not doing anything to elevate Jalen Hurts. I have a lesser opinion of Jalen Hurts after every game. He is just a functionary inside this offense. He's not going to do anything to lift this team. The best thing he could do is just stay equal.
Yeah. Well, he did have the one big run, the long touchdown run.
That's equal to me.
That's a nice weapon. But yeah, I do think you're limited. And
the RPO is RO. I mean, he ain't gonna pass. I mean, run the ball. there was 2 passes where there was an RPO, and he was trying to get it to A.J. Brown, one on the right side, one on the left side, and neither one was even remotely accurate. I mean, it was not a well-thrown football.
Well, I still don't believe that A.J. Brown is healthy. And now you are dealing with Jalen Hurts, who is not healthy. And while I say the offense is pretty simple, just keep handing the ball to Saquon Barkley and let him run for 200 yards, it's a great theory, but you got to at least have that threat. And
I don't know if you can stop it. That offensive line is that good. And there's still a threat of a downfield lob.
Yeah.
That offense, Detroit should be there. So anything other than what we're going to see just feels like a letdown in the NFC. Like, man, okay, the Eagles get it by default, I guess. I don't know.
Who's playing better ball right now, the Commanders or the Eagles?
You just keep waiting for the rookie to be a rookie. And maybe he never will be. I mean, Joe Burrow never was, so but
I'm enthralled with this kid. I mean, he's having such a good run. It's the best rookie season in NFL history.
Close, yeah.
I mean, who's been better?
There have been plenty. I shouldn't even question it. You're right. They're sitting in the NFC Championship game. Yeah. But he's also very quietly got a lot of talent around him. I mean, there's some dudes that are playing really good football right now.
That team won 2 games last year.
You're right. It's amazing to me. But was he truly that spectacular? He was really good.
I mean, to me,
seriously, was this the Redskins winning the game?
We like to call them the Commanders now.
I'm going to say Redskins, Commanders. Was it the Commanders winning the game, or was it given to them? Did they go get it, or was it just there for the taking?
Dude, I mean, they put up 100 points.
I know. That's part of it. Like, my gosh, everything just didn't feel.
Well, I mean, we've said it. Detroit's defense, the last couple weeks of the regular season, we're like, what's going on here? And we know they're banged up, but what's going on? I don't know.
The second best, maybe the third best team in football is not playing this week, and it's their fault.
Yeah.
I'm not. Jayden Daniels played great and all this, but
I'm telling you now, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, whoever came out of the AFC was beating that Lions team.
I agree. In hindsight,
they weren't as good as they made themselves look. And let me tell you something about Dan Campbell. Listen, Dan, you can't be the guy who's like, hey, we go out there, we kick ass, we're biting them on the kneecaps, we're just gonna wear your ass out. And then when you get your ass beat, you stand up there and cry like a little bitch. You can't do that. You got to pick which guy are you. And Dan up there, these guys. Well, dude, maybe, I don't know, maybe be better.
Well, he learned a lesson. We talked about it. Will that rest help them or hinder them? And they were stiff-kneed and flat-footed when the game got started. They had lost the mojo. They needed to play last week. They should have lost to Minnesota. The world would be a different place today. I think they should have kept that steam hot.
Wow. There have been, on the other side, the Commanders, there have been 5 quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks, to make it to the conference championship game. The results, 0-5.
Yeah, I just keep waiting for the rookie to be a rookie.
Sean King made it with the Bucs back in the year 2000. He was the first to do it. And they lost to the Rams.
Mike Allstott.
2004, Big Ben lost to the Patriots in the AFC Championship. Joe Flacco lost to the Ravens his rookie year, 2008. Mark Sanchez, Dirty Mark, lost his rookie year to the Colts, 2009. And in 2022, Brock Purdy and the 49ers lost to the Eagles, although if you remember, he only played like 5 snaps in that game and he got hurt. But they got their ass kicked anyway, and he was the starting quarterback of record.
Every one of those games, they got there not because of their quarterback, despite them. They had to cover up inadequacies. Purdy was the rookie that didn't do much. The Sean King thing is the prime example. I mean, Sean King, seriously?
Yeah.
But Jayden has done it differently. They got there because of Jayden. They're not here because of anything other than Jayden's extraordinary play. It wasn't it.
You're right.
They didn't have to protect him and hide him. They're there because of him. And by that measure, it is the best rookie quarterback year ever.
Yeah. I mean, and on top of winning the two, I mean, statistically, he was phenomenal. I mean, so was CJ last year, but CJ didn't win 2 playoff games.
Right. That's the separator.
2 playoff games on the road, but mind you. I mean, that's.
I tell you, that Cliff Kingsbury interview with the Cowboys, I can see why you're interested because he's called a hell of a season.
Don't be, because
I'm not, but I'm telling you.
Cliff thrives when he's got a quarterback who can move, and I think Dak's days of moving are past him. He's still got to wear a boot when he goes fishing, so I don't think he's going to turn back into any kind of a mobile player at this point. And I think Cliff needs that element to have success.
Run the football, throw the football, do whatever you need to do, but get the quarterback in the play. Make sure he's a part of every play, and he's done a good job with that. Jayden makes the decision on every play.
Yeah. E. Huey says playing David Montgomery was a mistake. Maybe. I mean,
there was part of it. Yeah.
He's been your touchdown maker, though. I get wanting to get him back on the field, but and especially you had the bye week, so you had extra time to feel like he was right. But again, I don't think this is on the offense. I mean, well, Jared Goff throwing 3 picks can't happen. I'm so sick of anyone trying to convince me that Jared Goff is elite. Jared Goff is a guy. I've seen this act before over and over. Jared Goff is a serviceable quarterback. Jared Goff doesn't suck, but Jared Goff is not special.
Well, I don't think anybody thought he was. I think 2 years ago, we realized exactly what he was and use him the right way, and you'll be fine. Unfortunately, like a lot of dudes yesterday, he had his worst game of the year. For whatever reason, it just went south on him.
He looked like he was playing outside.
True. But you look at the way he played, and we could look at Lamar. I mean, yesterday was the day for guys to have literally their worst game of the year because they were playing against defenses that do things to you like that.
Well, this is going to be – I think it's an interesting NFC Championship game, and I think the narrative is kind of cool that you've got this quarterback for Philly who's been close and come up short, and you've got Jayden Daniels who is just doing something that nobody thought he could do. I mean, it literally took one of the worst teams in the league, and in one season, they're in the NFC Championship game.
And rightfully so. That's a scary offense. It is one that you have to take away 3 different things. And if you can't take away 3, they're going to beat you. They can run it, they can throw it, and they can move the quarterback around. That's a tough offense. Much more credit needs to be given to the way that Quinn has allowed them to do some things with a rookie that most teams wouldn't let him do. I mean, it's his team.
And let me tell you, I mean, obviously we know Terry McLaurin is good. De'Ami Brown is a player.
It takes that,
kind of just
it?
coming out of. I don't know that anybody saw this coming. He was probably their best weapon in this game, and like, where have you been?
Well, part of it is when a guy like McLaurin, the gravity that he offers. I mean, if you don't account for him, he's 1.5 dudes on every play. And literally, you have to make sure he's there. And when your second can step up and get himself open and get the trust of his quarterback, that's the prescription, right?
In the regular season, De'Ami Brown had 308 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. In 2 playoff games, he has 187 yards and a touchdown. Like, dude's just on fire.
Well, I mean, they were holding back.
I guess so.
That was the ace in the hole.
Kind of a useful feeling.
Man, I want them to perform. I really do. I want them to play well. It's just, this is going to be a tough out because the familiarity here. I joke, how many times these guys played this year? But it does feel like everybody knows everybody in this game.
Oh, no doubt. But also, they beat this team.
I agree. That's probably the worst case. I'd rather have gone in and lost pretty heavily. I'd rather come in with them not expecting a whole lot. But they've come in and beaten them.
I feel the opposite way. I like that Jayden Daniels it has some confidence against it. I mean, Jayden Daniels threw 5 touchdowns in that game.
I know. Film's a terrible thing, though,
now,
if you're not accustomed to reacting to it.
The other side of that coin is that was a Kenny Pickett game for Philly. Now, is Kenny Pickett going to be
little hands, tiny hands?
Yeah, but there's a non-zero chance that Kenny Pickett is starting on Sunday.
Well, if he starts, the script is flipped. I mean, it's an entirely different scenario. I mean, it will take heaven and earth to keep Pickett off the field. That's not going to happen.
So this line is Commanders plus 5.5.
Which,
now,
that's about right.
I don't know if it is.
Because I don't trust Philly's offense. That's the only thing. I think that they'll be able to run with Saquon, but they're going to have to score some points.
Well, if Philly is a 5.5-point favorite at home, what do you think Philly was in that Week 14 game on the road? What do you think the score?
Probably about a 5.5-point favorite on the road.
They were 4.5-point road favorites with Kenny Pickett. Now we're saying they're only 5.5-point favorites at home
because
with
we
Jalen
keep
Hurts?
waiting for a rookie to be a rookie. I get why we could look back and go, well, look at that. Well, we kept even then. The rookie's going to be a rookie. He's going to screw things up. He's going to make a mistake. He's going to fumble. The game is too important for a rookie to be continually successful. It just doesn't happen, and it has continued to happen.
Well, I as someone with no emotional dog in the fight, I would like to see Jayden Daniels do something that's never been done, like that. And also, I don't think it would hurt to not have to play Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl if Buffalo were to be there.
Yeah, well, you're looking at it through Buffalo Bills flavor.
I'd rather never. I don't want to see Saquon Barkley.
It is a nightmare scenario if the Commanders make it to the Super Bowl. That is not what the NFL wants.
That's what I want.
Well, it's what you want as a Bill fan.
I don't care what the NFL
But as far as
if the NFL gets what they want, they're getting the Swifties there anyway, so it's not going to matter.
Well, it would be even a bigger light on the Swifties, and that's worst case scenario.
Oh, if the Commanders beat the Eagles, you know the call is coming in. Hey, we can't have Washington Buffalo. We got to have something in this game. You guys know what to do.
Yeah, you know what to do.
You know.
I'm going to send you the text.
What to do.
You know how to handle this.
Are you saying they're going to order the Code Red?
Code Red.
Now, if the Eagles win, they can say, "Hey, you guys just play it out. Let's see what happens." Because I really do think, and maybe you guys can tell me. You guys can both tell me, because you see it from a different angle than I do. I feel like Josh Allen is becoming like not just a star, like a good player, but I think he's becoming like a star.
Yes, he's a guy that the league needs to win. Yes, no question.
He's a guy that would be great to have as the face of your league.
He's the 1A. If we can't have Mahomes, we better have a Josh Allen. They want Mahomes. I still think in their wildest dreams, Mahomes winning the Super Bowl is the best thing in the NFL to promote the brand around the world. But if it can't be him, let's start grooming the next.
And you know what? If Mahomes wins, then we're going to have real conversations about him and Tom Brady already.
Oh.
And it's not going to be like a open and shut Tom Brady's better than Patrick Mahomes thing. Like it's like if he wins this third one in a row with this roster, there has to be a real discussion about Patrick Mahomes is probably better than Tom Brady. And I know that sounds crazy, but I think we're about to be there.
We'll talk about it in 2 weeks, but that's not a crazy thought at all. Because I think you could argue right now, physically, the tools and what he's done has already surpassed. Now all he needs is longevity.
Yeah. Gilbert says, I trust Daniels more than Hurts, but I trust Barkley. Oh, my buddy texted me, and he was right on about this. What other roster could you put Jalen Hurts on and he'd win a playoff game? Where else would would you feel comfortable saying Jalen Hurts would win a playoff game on this team if you replace their quarterback with
49ers?
Well, they're not even in the playoffs.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He would have to land on a team with an offensive coordinator or a coach that I absolutely trust is going to minimize the problems.
Yeah, I don't know that there's the other great offensive lines like Washington's got a really good offensive line. Baltimore's got a really good offensive line. The Broncos have a really good offensive line, but I don't think that I don't know that he'd have a better chance than Bo Nix of winning a playoff game.
Well,
right
I
now.
think he is exactly like Bo Nix, but limited in that I trust him more to do some things, but I can't let him throw the way I let Bo Nix throw.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about the Final Four. Like, I didn't need the Lions. I don't care. Like, and I think the Lions kind of got exposed as fraudy anyway.
I'm not going to go hindsight on this. I think they woke up this morning and wondered what truck hit them. That shouldn't have happened. They're not that. They just had their worst game at the worst possible time.
Maybe, but also the defensive injuries were piling up.
Yep.
And it reared its head. Excuse me. But that's the same defense that gave up 34 points to San Francisco. That's the same defense that gave up 48.
No, they have every reason. That's not excuses. That's a reason. You don't lose defensive ends like that, 2 of them. You don't lose linebackers and DBs by the dozens and not lose. I mean, this is truly a reason. It is not an excuse. It just happened that it kept piling on, and at the worst possible moment, it all came to a fruition, and you're sitting at home today watching your coach wipe tears away, wondering what the hell happened and how we're going to hold on to our coordinators because everybody's leaving.
Yeah, this team gave up 48 points to Buffalo. It wasn't unprecedented. All right, keep the party rolling. I got a giveaway to come up on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
GiveMeTheVin.com salutes coming home. On this day in 1981, the Ayatollah Khomeini released 52 Americans who'd been held in Tehran for 15 months, ending the Iran hostage crisis. Trying to get a fair trade-in allowance at the dealership can be a little like having your car held hostage. Give Me the VIN will set you free with the market's top dollar and a process that's AAA+ rated by the BBB. When it's time to sell, come on home to America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star here. Have you played Pick 6 from DraftKings? The playoffs are here and time is running out. As the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like no one else. Play for better payouts on Pick 6. It's super easy to get started. Just select 2 or more players, choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. Pick 6 is available in most states including Texas, Missouri, California, Georgia, and more. And DraftKings is making it even sweeter for first-timers. New Pick 6 customers play $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award is non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Hey guys, it's AJ from the Morning Huddle. Between us, when you hit a certain age, things start to feel a little off, right? You're tired all the time, your energy's low, maybe even your drive isn't what it used to be. And a lot of that comes down to testosterone. And trust me, It can happen to the best of us. That's where Game Day Men's Health comes in. They know how we feel, and they make it easy. Game Day Men's Health is over there on Bassey Road, across from the quarry. Their office has a relaxed man cave vibe, and they've built a 3-step process that's quick and designed just for us. First, get your T levels checked. Free testosterone test at their in-house lab. Then, you meet with a licensed provider to create a customized plan. And finally, you'll get those fast weekly treatments. After a month, you're going to notice a difference. More energy, better mood, and a kick in your libido. Don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. Call Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691. That's 210-900-3691. Feel better, be better at Game Day.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it.
Woo!
Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. No major incidents as you head into your early morning commute. In fact, we are expecting a light travel day today due to the holiday. Now, we do have that ongoing road work downtown on 35 upper level, southbound that connector to westbound I-10. That connector ramp is reduced to 1 lane. Almost a 30-minute commute, 1604 westbound I-10 over to 281, and a solid 20 minutes, 1604 northbound I-10 to 35. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Conference championship weekend is set. The Chiefs will host the Bills as Buffalo held off Baltimore 27-25 last night, while Kansas City beat the Houston Texans 23-14 on Saturday. On the NFC side, the Eagles will host the Commanders as Washington took down the Detroit Lions 45-31, and the Eagles held off the Rams 28-22 behind Saquon Barkley's 205 and 2 tutties. The Spurs fell 128-107 to Miami last night, dropping to 19-22 on the year, losing 3 consecutive games. They were paced by Devin Vassell's 23. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Look at us, halfway there, living on a prayer. Morning Huddle, 94.1.
We getting time and a half today?
We should. Now, I want you to know this is how much we love you guys. They said, guys, it's a company holiday. You're off. But we said, you know what? No thanks.
And wake James Pledger's ass up.
Like, what are we going to do? Not show up the day after NFL football weekend, playoff weekend, the day of the national championship? I mean, what are we going to do?
I'd have gladly stayed home.
No way. I would have been in here by myself.
I like everybody, but
we should take tomorrow off because it's going to be icy.
We're going to have to make a command decision here because all the suits aren't here, and the engineers require to get the equipment that is necessary. aren't here.
Yeah.
But we could be frozen out tomorrow.
Well,
throw some chains on your tires and get in here.
I'm going to be here.
I'm going to buy. I saw a new product called a tire glove, a tire sock. You seen the tire socks?
No.
Takes the place of chains. Excuse me. Tire sock.
That sounds so bad.
Yeah.
What's it look like? Does it look like one? I picture it looking like a Guardian cap for your tire.
Kind of. I just saw a road test competition between the tire sock, the chain, and the snow tire.
Yeah, my wife grew up in a place where you have to have 2 sets of tires per car, and like you just have to store your regular tires in the winter time, and then store your snow tires in the summertime. Like, what a pain in the ass! You have to switch your tires out twice a year.
So actually, the snow tire did win. You want snow tires above the snow, snow sock, which sounds some vaguely yuck, and the snow chain.
Now Gilbert says, just spend the night at the station.
Keep it to yourself.
You want a slumber party? A hammock?
To yourself. I'm not a news rat. Those news
those
rats
guys
across the hall, they keep mattresses and
Today's
whatnot.
a big holiday for those guys.
Super Bowl. Super Bowl day for those guys.
I guess we should have announced that there's a new president. Is that is it happened?
I think it's as of the official swearing. We still have Biden is still the president until Trump puts his hand on the Bible.
Are flags at half-mast?
Not there, no. I do believe that the even in Texas, I think state buildings will be at full mast in honor of the presidency. Most are still at half mast.
Okay.
That's an order by Adams.
How long is when a president dies? How long is it?
I think it's 30 days, right? Don't we do a month of mourning?
Okay. Well,
I mean, I kind of get it. I kind of don't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a judgment call. I'm not surprised by any of this, but I kind of get it. We are celebrating America in its truest and best form, the peaceful transition of power.
It is going to be very, very peaceful. Very peaceful.
Probably.
Somebody tweeted you that Andrew Luck was better than Jayden Daniels. That's like...
It's funny how you forget about Andrew Luck, what could have, should have been.
First of all, Andrew Luck was he did have a good rookie season.
Brilliant. He was
but
good.
Andrew Luck threw fewer touchdowns and literally twice as many interceptions, then went 0-1 in the playoffs. By what metric was he better?
I'm not going to argue with him. I do think that I forget about Andrew Luck when I talk about young quarterbacks and all of that. It's just one of those brief moments in time. Yeah, he was here and then so quickly gone. I don't even consider. But I do look back on that rookie year, and it was pretty spectacular. I mean, it was one of those where you expected a whole lot to come.
But he wasn't this good.
No one ever has been. I mean, there's no real discussion here.
Yeah. I don't know that there's an argument for one.
I mean, we talk about Marino, his rookie year. I mean, there's been some great rookie years, and but the playoff success didn't arrive, and then we got the playoff success that we had from CJ, and a lot of what we saw last year from Stroud felt like, he was successful because he didn't know what he didn't know. I mean, he was throwing some crazy third down successes that most teams don't get, and they piled up. Jayden has just had this Heisman type year where he's just been successful right out of the box. There was really no lag time, and he's doing college things in the pros and doing them professionally well. So, yeah, it's ridiculous, but I just can't get past. I've seen enough of these guys come over the years that eventually you are exposed for not knowing everything. That there are things out there that you've never had to do, never faced, and defensive coordinators eventually find that thing. At least they have to this point. Nobody's ever done any more than this.
Yeah.
So maybe this is time where it hadn't happened, and now it has. But until it does happen, I'm going to put my money on a defensive coordinator.
Gilbert says Luck was another what could have been type of player.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Luck was like, people don't like to call it out for what it is. Andrew Luck was a massive disappointment.
Well, because he chose not to do it. We knew he had all the greatness lined up. I mean, he looked like the next Peyton Manning. Played like him, looked like him, acted like him. Just chose that just wasn't for him.
I don't know if I don't know. I guess I don't. I mean, he was 4-4 in the playoffs. Like, he was supposed to be the second coming, and he was just
Well, look how long it's taken Josh Allen to get where he's gotten. I think if he'd have gotten more time, we'd have been talking about him like all the greats that have come and gone. He had everything, and he'd already gotten past that. If you can stay open for a year, you'll make it kind of thing with a restaurant. He'd already gotten past that. We knew he was going to be great. He chose not to do it.
Yeah. I'm just not sure. I think he was good. He certainly never lived up to the expectations that were attached to him.
I didn't have a chance.
It's not. I get he's a better he's like the name brand version of Trevor Lawrence.
I'd go better than that. No, I wouldn't go that bad. I mean, Trevor hadn't done anything.
No, he hasn't.
But you talk about playoff success for a young quarterback. It was just such a blip. It was so fast that we'll never – I mean, I don't even consider him. I don't even think about him. He's an afterthought. I have to be reminded, oh, yeah, Andrew Luck played about 8 years ago. Remember him?
Yep.
No, barely.
Played he played in 6 seasons over the course of 7. Remember, he missed that whole season with the shoulder thing. 4 playoff appearances.
Pretty good for a kid.
I guess. He making the playoffs your first 3 years was good. But, I mean, you talk about with an asterisk, that division at the time was so pathetic with the Texans, the Jags, and the Titans that it's like someone had to make it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say that's the reason. Let's not take away from what we knew was imminent talent. And the guy just made a decision that he wanted to be able to put together a cogent sentence when he was 65 and run and play with his grandkids. I don't blame him, but I blame him.
You know what also kind of sucked about that? He left his team out to dry.
He did.
When he decided to retire, it was like, well, dude, what are we supposed to do now? Like, it was at a point where they were about to start training camp.
Yes, it was a high and dry kind of a thing. I remember interviewing his dad. His dad, Oliver Luck,
yep,
had something to do with a startup football league. I think we had him on right when his son retired, and he didn't know what to say. He was like, well, he just chose not to play anymore. I don't know, because Luck chased that all his career, And
yeah.
Dude just up and left, and I'm not sure he ever even went back to Indianapolis. Has he ever gone back?
I doubt it.
Probably not.
I doubt it. I think he got some hot wife, and she was like, hey, I don't want you to play football anymore. And he was like, oh, okay.
You got a couple million. Let's see if you can invest.
Good for him.
Make it, but
good for him. And Corey says saving your health can't be a disappointment. He has some horrible injuries at a young age.
I'm not mad at him.
I don't know. He had he had injuries. Like everybody who plays in the NFL has injuries. I'm not mad at him for making the decision. I'm just saying it was pretty crappy timing for his teammates that right before training camp, he's like, yeah, I know we're ready to start training camp, but I'm not going to be there. I'm going to go ahead and hang it up.
Just not into it. He's the photo negative of a couple of quarterbacks.
Of Tom Brady, who's like I
was going to say Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I mean, Tom Brady literally is like, honey, I'm headed to Tampa for training camp. She's like, the hell you are. If you get on that plane, I'm leaving you. He's like, well, bye.
I guess I'll see you later.
Bye. And Andrew Luck the week before training camp, I'm not feeling it.
I think I'll stay home. I appreciate it. I do, but I'm mad because of what could have been, what I was deprived of because he chose not to play, because he was special. There's no getting around that.
Yeah, he was one of the guys I counted on to give Brady a push one day.
Seriously.
And just never did.
So,
ran out of time.
Yeah.
All right. The college football national championship comes up tonight. Again, I don't have the oh yeah, it's finally here that I would normally have.
No.
And you tell me, I like I said, well, it's probably because of the NFL, but also because let's face it, and this is what we were going to get. This is what we wanted with these playoffs, right?
Kinda.
We've got the 7 and the 8 seed playing for a national title.
Kinda. We love upsets. We love upsets up until we have to face the ramifications of those upsets.
Right. We love upsets until it's in the final final four.
Always.
We love those week 1 and week 2, or those first weekend upsets.
Or those Sweet 16 weekends where the number 8 seed squeaks through with a third straight win, and then you realize there's a reason why this team was an 8 seed.
Yeah, we don't want them in the final 4. That's bad.
This is kind of what we got.
Much less in the championship game, and you've got the 7 and the 8 seed. Now, are they the two best teams? I don't know. Maybe. They're on the best runs.
They're blue bloods. I mean, if you'd have written a script and said before all this was happening, we're doing something brand new, we're going to send 12 teams, but we want to maintain some continuity. We want this to feel like the same college football that we loved 20 years ago and 40 years ago and 60 years ago. Well, there's only about 4 or 5, 6 teams in the whole world that can fill that bill, and we got 2 of them. So, we got what we wanted and we got what we deserved all at the same time.
One of these days, there's going to be – I see it now. I didn't think – I was hopeful that it wouldn't happen. It's going to happen, though. Eventually, a 3-loss team is going to be the national champions
and we
of college
want that
football.
Eventually. I think we have to taste that once or twice. We want the Hoosiers team to make it. It's a team of legend and destiny, but we don't want that every year. No.
Well, it's going to happen.
We want the Death Star. We want teams like Ohio State that just linger around forever. We would love them till we hate them. But right now, Blue Bloods are playing. If I can't get my favorite team or the 2 hottest teams, we might as well have 2 Blue Bloods to put their name on the trophy first.
Well, let's dig into this matchup on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dr. Jacob Torres has been my physician for the last 8 years. Now, he started as my weight loss doctor, and I wasn't even sure I wanted him to do that. When I first met Dr. Torres back in 2016, I weighed about 300 pounds. Sore all the time, wasn't sleeping good. Anybody who's overweight knows exactly what I was going through. And I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to lose weight. Didn't really think I was even going to try. Dr. Torres convinced me that, some of those weight loss methods that you see online and all that stuff are almost worse for you because you think they're going to work. They do kind of work, and then you try them for a little while, and then it doesn't work. And you don't think, well, anything is ever going to work for me. I'm never going to lose weight. I don't think I can. Well, Dr. Torres showed me how. And he showed me how in a variety of ways, not just the medical side, but the psychological side as well. And that was really the issue that I needed work with. I understood working out and calorie deficits and all of that. I just needed the follow-up and the work with. And that's what I got with Dr. Torres. If you've had trouble losing weight, you've tried and failed, or you've never really even wanted to, Dr. Torres might be your answer. Before you start putting shots in your stomach every other day or whatever that might start taking all kinds of $1,000 pills, call Dr. Torres and find out that you can lose weight the old-fashioned way, and it's not as hard as you might think. His number is 210-468-1891. His website is IFF Health. I say go there first. Read what he has to say, take the tests, and do all of that. Then talk to him. Find out what I know. I'll tell you what, if it's time to lose weight, there's no better advocate or any physician that can work better for or with you, and that's Dr. Jacob Torres. Call the IFF today. Find out what I know, and I'm sure you'll come on by and thank me later. Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play. Up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
It is playoff time. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Be like me and 5 million other happy players winning money watching games with their Pick'em game, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. You can cook up fire entries for a shot to win real cash prizes all playoff long. You can even take football and basketball and mix them together. Underdog is the only Pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the app, sign up with my promo code STAR, and deposit now and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR. Sign up today.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Something amazing is happening. Despite a citywide blackout, this company is still up and running. That's because CDW deployed and managed a cost-effective Eaton Trip Light Series Smart Pro UPS to safeguard equipment easily and reliably. Keep the power on and protect your IT equipment from electrical challenges. Trip Light by Eaton and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/triplight.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, it is a big day. We're going to be live out at the Root Pub getting ready for the national championship game.
And, of course, we're talking about all the football action from the weekend.
The Blitz starts at 2 from the Root Pub.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Or ever will be. Yeah. I went home this weekend and watched Rattle and Hum just to reaffirm my faith. It was like going to church.
What is Rattle and Hum?
One of the greatest rock and roll movies ever made. It's a concert movie.
Oh.
It's a movie of the tour of Rattle and Hum.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You know, you haven't seen it?
No.
Well, it tells me a lot right there.
Yeah. No, I'm going to watch that show you told me to watch.
Oh, by the way, I'm Rattle and Hum, that's 30 years old. Don't worry about that. If you really want to be entertained, I mean, you really want to be American Primeval. American
Primeval.
American Primeval.
I'm going to watch it.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to watch it. It's been on my list. Like, it's been telling me to watch it.
Started early.
No, I'm going to watch. I'm going to wait until football's over.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, you will not stop watching it. You'll watch the whole thing, 6 hours. Just schedule appropriately.
Freedom Ride says Chiefs have a small market like San Antonio, yet people actually believe they are helped by the refs. Come on, man.
Oh, please. The small market. What? It's the NFL. There's no such thing.
The Chiefs have the biggest star player in the world, and they have a guy who's dating the biggest pop star in the world.
What do you mean?
Like this, Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift ain't like Tony Parker being married to the gal from Desperate Housewives. This is like a
Eva Longoria.
Oh, you know,
I knew her name.
Close.
I was just
it's close, but it's not even in the same vicinity.
No.
This is what I don't get this. There's nothing wrong with saying that the NFL prefers to have the Chiefs win. I mean, they're not the first team that has been the benefit of the doubt. They've got everything required to grow the brand. And all the league can do is set the table in a way that allows you to go places. You got to go do it. But no one, even Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, can sit and look at you with a straight face and go, no, the refs don't give us the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Because they do.
NBA doesn't love Wemby like the NFL loves Patty.
Not yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, as soon as Wemby starts to show that he can be that, I'm sure they'll give him his flowers. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Yesterday was such a perfect example of the problem because it defined it. We have the cross point of head injuries and quarterbacks and greatness. And when that one penalty where the two Texans dudes literally took themselves out, yet were penalized, just that play is the crossroads of where we are now in the NFL because we have the greatest player utilizing his gamesmanship in a play that applied our worst case scenario with the NFL, and that's head injuries. And it all came right there. And when it came down to it, Mahomes got the benefit of the doubt. He did. The video replay showed clearly there was no penalty. But head injuries and quarterbacks and this and that, it's a benefit. It's a good thing to have, and don't fight it.
Well, and Freedom Ride says they were winning before that Taylor girl came along. Come on. Yeah, they were winning because they were really good. But now there's more incentive for the Chiefs to be there. It's one thing when you're winning. That's awesome. But
let's ask the question. If you're – and I'm not saying it's fixed because it's not. But if you're an NFL apologist or you're working with the league and you could – what's the best thing that could happen to the league right now? The best thing that could happen to the league right now is to have a three-peat champion. That's the best thing that could happen because it's never happened before. We do believe, and by the numbers, you do start to expect a bit of a decline from Kansas City because Kelsey is a year older and so is Mahomes, and there's going to be some more attrition, and you can't continue living by that way and expect ongoing success. So I do get the sense that we all know this is the apex. This is probably about it. We're probably wrong because we said that about Brady, but right now we can say it. So I think it's the best thing that can happen to the NFL is Mahomes to win this thing.
Yeah, you're probably right. If not for Josh Allen, the NFL they don't want Buffalo winning.
No, you want to talk about small market fatigue.
Yeah, and the other thing that would be I think really great for the NFL would be Jayden Daniels winning. Because now you've got you just sprinkled magic dust on a plant and it grew into a giant beanstalk, and now you've got a ready-made superstar. Wins a Heisman one year, wins the Super Bowl the next year. This guy is a god king if he does that.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
Well, there is the worry that you have this one-hit wonder asterisk year.
Sure, but going into next year, has there ever been any more excitement to see a guy play his second year than what they had?
But our fear is, okay, they win the game, they go to the Super Bowl and get waxed.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like Atlanta, and then Atlanta was there for a brief shining moment, but the wheels fell off. And, the league doesn't want that. So there is the fear that the rookie will eventually become the rookie.
Yeah.
And I think that's the fear of the unknown. I think if I could choose the plot line to carry me through the next couple of years as a Cowboy fan in the situation I find him, I would love to see Jayden go out and win the Super Bowl. I would love to have that in my division. You know what I mean? I'd love to have that to aim at and to look at every week to go along with the Philadelphia Eagles continued. I love that.
Now, what I will say is, as much as I love what I've seen out of Jayden Daniels, the same exact thing I said about C.J. Stroud this offseason applies to Jayden Daniels. The league adjusts to you, Bubba.
Yep.
They ain't going to let you just do this forever. And the guys that do are like the all-time greats. It very rarely, you remember RG3 had a fantastic year one. The league said, hold up, friend.
Yep.
We're gonna make some things. We're gonna level the playing field on you here a little. C.J. Stroud went through it this year. As great as C.J. Stroud was a year ago, the league said, dude, you're not better than all of us. These coaches get paid a lot of money to figure out how to stop guys, and the league will be ready for Jayden Daniels next year.
Well, I think it better be ready this week. You know what I mean? Eventually, again, I can't say it enough. Rookies are rookies until they're not.
You're right.
And eventually, everybody goes home upset, like, I don't know how this happened, but you're a rookie. You had 17 phenomenal games. The 18th, well, that's why you're sitting at home.
Yeah. No doubt. All right, let's hit a break. Let's when we come back, I told you we were going to get into the college football. We might have to do that at 9 because we got to do losers.
And we got some stuff to give away too.
Oh yeah, man, I'm I'm so bad at this radio thing. I'll figure it out coming up. It's Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a trouble spot south side of downtown on I-10 eastbound just past Proban. Disabled vehicle taking up the right lane. Downtown, that ongoing road work 35 upper level. Southbound the connector to westbound I-10. That connector ramp is reduced to one lane. Otherwise, everything else, all our major freeway systems right now looking good, rolling at posted speeds. Now we do expect lighter than usual traffic volume today due to the holiday. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Rising hot! South Texas home of the college football playoff national championship is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. After 10 games that started back on December 20th, only one is left. Number 7 Notre Dame versus the highly favored number 8 seed Ohio State. The college football playoff national championship today at 5:30. Brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue on South Texas' first FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news. A CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. and happy 50th.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to one player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Progressive's AutoQuote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box, or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's AutoQuote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
About time. Pleasure gives me something. If we got to
Steel Dragon.
If we got to sit through U2, we should at least get some good music in here.
Iron Panther.
Haven't worked with you. I got to figure out what you
Who
like.
is this? Who is this?
Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, yeah.
Rob and I are sitting here bitching about politics during the break.
I'm not bitching.
I want to rage against the machine all the time.
Just going to lay back
I
and
hate
enjoy
politicians, all of them. They're all the same. They really are. And they all say, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do it, and then they do it. And everybody sucks.
Everybody sucks.
Why do we keep picking these people? How come there can't be like some regular dude just be the president? Like some random guy from Des Moines, Iowa, who's, like a...
I'm not sure I want a regular dude being president.
I don't know. Give me something different. Why can't you be president, Rob?
Deion Sanders for president.
That's a good idea.
As long as he can get a good pay raise.
I gotta be a pay cut, unfortunately. A long-term pay raise.
Let's focus on the positive.
Okay.
Today is National DJ Day.
Like radio DJs?
Yeah, radio disc jockey day.
Not the guys in the club with the turntables?
Well, it's I looked it up. I saw somebody post something in the business, and I thought, is that today? But it is. We're being honored.
So it's MLK Day.
MLK.
Inauguration Day.
Yep.
National Championship Day.
Yep.
And Radio DJ Day.
Radio DJ Day. Now, I'm not sure if it applies to us as hosts. We don't spin the ones and twos, but I think we fall in there.
We have to.
Somebody should buy us
get our own.
What I'm getting at is somebody should buy us lunch.
Well, that would have been nice.
I mean, somebody.
All right, let's discuss who the big losers were this weekend.
You lose. You are such a loser. You're a bona fide schmuck.
Time now to find out who blew it this weekend. The losers.
You bunch of losers! Look who's back. It's the loser.
I'm going back to a better class of losers.
With AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, losers.
I'll start with one a little bit off the board. I know you didn't think about or even know about, but Arman Tsarukyan was supposed to fight for the UFC title this weekend in the main event. And on Friday, he somehow hurt himself cutting weight and woke up in such pain that he could not fight.
What was in pain, I wonder?
His back.
So was he like dehydrated and had spasms? We don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Did he watch some game film of the dude he was about to fight
Well,
and realize that wasn't going to happen?
He's already fought him before and, like, gave that guy probably the toughest fight he's ever had. Like, I thought he had a real chance of winning. And instead, he doesn't get the fight. And now, like, the UFC is not going to be in any hurry to rebook him because
I would think not.
Like, they just spent a bunch of money on promoting that fight, and then it didn't happen. And it's not like this is a guy who the masses are clamoring to see.
What's his name again?
Arman Sarukian. So that's I mean, I get it. If you're too hurt to fight, you're too hurt to fight. But how do you hurt yourself that much?
While you're cutting weight.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's not like you're sparring or something like that. That's a bad look.
Like, I got in a wreck because I was late for work.
Yeah.
Well, you should have been on time. You wouldn't have had to wreck.
So now, without losing, you're a loser.
This is so easy. On weekends like this, I mean, the losers are just so
obvious.
evident. So I'm going to go in the group one first. The Harbaugh family.
Oh.
The sad Harbaugh family this weekend is everybody lost in typical Harbaugh fashion. I don't think they need to change anything about who they are or what they're doing, but there's some people that got them better than us right now.
Yeah.
And the Harbaughs, you were losers this weekend. You'll be back. But right now, sucks to be you.
I'm going to go with Aaron Glenn. And here's why. You're on the list for every big job. Everybody wants the guy who's running this badass Lions defense. And you give up 45 points at home to a rookie? Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh. That's a rough look, Aaron Glenn. Listen, in a week or two, he won't be a loser anymore because he'll be one of the first coaches hired now that he's available. But this weekend, he was a loser.
It didn't look good. And, you ask him, I mean, what happened? He goes, well, look at what I did without for all this time. And, you reach this level of playoff, and that's why great defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators are being interviewed for jobs. They saw the issue, and they picked it apart, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. And that's really the concern. It's not so much that they finally figured out how they could throw on your sixth-string cornerback, because anybody could. It was that you really didn't have the answer. It got worse as the game went on, which is really my concern about him. My other losers, pretty obvious. They're not losers, but I think they're losers by inaction. The inactivity thing, the NCAA. As we come into the national championship game, the first of this playoff that we've dreamed of for all these years, we finally get here, but we have this 48-hour blackout of any talk of any NCAA football because, quite frankly, there was more interesting football being played by the pros. So, we finally get our championship. We got the Blue Bloods, the Domers, and the Buckeyes. And since basically Thursday afternoon, I haven't thought about this game at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, we get a game today. It's not the buildup that I think that the NCAA had hoped they would get after what has been a pretty fun, if not perfect, playoff.
I'm going to go after the Baltimore Ravens social media team who tweeted before the game a video of Mark Andrews running around during warm-ups wearing shorts and no sleeves with the tag, "A little snow doesn't bother Mark Andrews." Well, did it? Did it, though? I think maybe it bothered him some.
Little bit.
And
the second turnover.
Honestly, if I'm the Ravens, the move is delete that tweet. Just take it down. All it's going to do is lead to trolling. I've already trolled on it. Like it's not good. It's not good for Mark Andrews. It's not good for the Ravens. It's not good for anybody. You guys are losers.
Yeah, but Andrews is not a loser. He had a lost day.
No, when you lose, you're the loser.
Poor bastard.
That's
Mitch
it.
Johnson.
Yesterday, he was as much of a loser as John Harbaugh.
I know, poor bastard. I don't know if he deserves to be here because, quite frankly, sometimes you get thrust into situations that you're completely out of control. But Mitch Johnson, we've lost 3 straight games. And I do think a magnifying glass needs to be put on the coaching staff and where this team is going. I'm not saying all is over and that they're undercoached and not prepared. That's not it. But in the last 3 games, and I'll go back the past 5, we've really come down to some serious coaching issues. Some of the reasons why head coaches get paid the money that they do, and there's only 32 of them in the world. Like figuring out what are you going to do with Devin Vassell, because quite frankly, he probably is better off the bench, and Steph Castle is probably better on the floor. But the team is better when Devin is. I don't know the decision that needs to be made. All I know is what's going on right now ain't working. And you're not a loser right now, Mitch. And I'll throw this whole coaching staff into it right now, this committee. Whatever's going on with this committee and these three in this last month or so as we get ready to hit the road, you're going to have to fix something really fast. And I'm not sure if it's a trade deadline, if it's an attitude adjustment inside the building, but this is a negative trend that really tests the mettle of veteran teams. And this is a team led by rookies, coached by a rookie. We're in some really difficult waters right now. Mitch, I don't want you to fall into that loser bucket, but as we sit right now and you've lost 3 straight, you're a loser.
I'm gonna go with the ACC here, particularly the ACC football. The commissioner of the ACC, Jim Phillips, said on Sunday that the league is going to start conversations with ADs about changing the conference championship game format. The reason why is because Clemson beat SMU in the ACC title game. They almost didn't
cut our nose off despite our face.
Right. And they're like, well, if we're ever going to get 2 teams again, we can't
play each other.
So they're going to, whoever was their regular season champion, they're talking about giving them the bye.
So you don't have to play in the conference.
And then letting the second and third place teams play for the conference championship.
That is just stupid. These are learned men. These are men that work on college campuses. And this is your answer?
I really hope that they do that, and then the committee looks at them and goes,
well, nobody goes now.
No.
Nope, not even your champion, because we didn't see him, and those 2 teams you put in front of us, those guys suck.
While every other conference is playing for
I get it. And there has to be that's an issue that needs to be addressed, that the conference championship now is really not that important. I think we can just admit the fact that the king has no clothes, and let's carry on and just call it a game for a game's sake and not a conference title. Just one more excuse to get a team into the playoff. And if we do it that way, I'm down. But they're right with the ACC. They almost cost themselves a whole bunch of money because of the way this was set up. But that's the way things have gone.
I got an idea for them.
What's that?
Regular season champion, 2 last place teams battle it out for.
Oh, I thought you were going to say penalty kicks. Maybe we do some kind of field goal competition.
2-point conversions.
And maybe it's like the All-Star or the Pro Bowl where they do tug of war. We don't really play some football. We just have a different kind of champion. All right, my last champ. We got some time. No, Dan Campbell. And he's not a loser by any stretch.
No, he was.
But one of the things about a guy like Dan Campbell, and one of the reasons that I didn't think a guy like Dan Campbell would in the end be ultimately successful, is rah-rah coaching to me. You know, the fire up, the speech after halftime, the get out and go win one for the Gipper to start a game, ain't about how you win in the NFL. It's just, it never has been. This is a professional, precise league, and you can win a quarter, you can win a series with just emotion. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the X's and O's. And Dan Campbell proved me wrong. He has. I will never think that again. But what we don't take into consideration is how you have to maintain that kind of vibration for 5 and 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to keep it vibrating and keep it going for so long that when they finally had a little bit of a break, he couldn't get it back. And I think you reevaluate how you coach and what you do to coach, and living on emotion, while it's a lot of fun for a long time, in the end is what killed him. They couldn't keep that emotional activity up yet one more week.
It's my fault.
Your quarterback threw terrible interceptions. It's not your fault.
Yeah,
man.
dude. Sorry. I got a couple more. One is this guy never loses in life, but he's a loser right now. Tom Brady. Tom Brady sucks at his job. Like, he is the worst color commentator. And that's saying something because I hate Chris Collinsworth. But Tom Brady is such a bore. Like, give me anything. Like a little bit of something. Like, make yourself interesting. You can't even do that. You're Tom freaking Brady, and you're not interesting at all.
I don't know how you fix it either. I don't know if he needs another co-host or you tell him to be edgier. I don't know what the fix is for Tom, but he's not interesting.
He's terrible at this.
I know. And
just walk away. Go be an owner, dude. Like, it's not for you.
And there is that kind of hanging over him, that this whole owner thing and his ability now as a part owner of the Raiders to literally go into the locker rooms, to go into the headquarters of the enemy on a regular basis and just go talk to the coaches about plans and players. It does, in a very small way, give almost an unfair advantage, because he does get to go in when they're prepping for a game. And what is typical with these TV crews is they land a day or two before the game. They go sit in front of the coaches. They sit down and look at game film. The coaches will literally tell them, look, we've got a couple of trick plays. If we run into this is what we're going to do, so be ready. They do all of that with the idea that it is all secret. What goes on isn't discussed amongst others until during or after the game. Well, you're giving inside info to an owner. And I do think that there is something to, I'm not going to tell you everything I'm going to do, so it hurts his prep. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what I think about this guy because he's about to be a free agent and he's a guy you might like. So I'm not going to talk about that to you. So I think it hurts in his prep. And then you end up with a guy who was so good for so long. It's like Larry Bird was never a very good coach because he expected players to play like he did. Well, dude, nobody can play like you. That's why these superstars are rarely great coaches, because they can't do what you could do. And no one can do what Tom Brady could do.
Yeah.
So,
but the other thing is, I don't, like you say, his prep's going to suffer. I don't know that he preps.
Well, that might
be
a problem.
I don't know if he preps. The other loser is, I realized this weekend, women's college basketball. Do you hear anything about it?
Well, I keep turning on games that I expect to be really good games, and it's the wrong gender.
What are you, like, remember last year we couldn't you couldn't turn your TV on without hearing about it. No one cares.
Not yet.
Like, it's gone. The era is over for women's college basketball. They had like a 1 year shining moment, and it's gone.
I think the numbers don't actually reflect that, but I do agree that we don't care. And it happens, especially on Sundays. I'm flipping around Sunday noon to 2, and there's, I'm looking for something to fill the gap for football, and I see all these basketball games. And I think the one I saw that really interested me was like USC, Minnesota, or Indiana. It was one of those games. I thought, oh, this will be an interesting basketball game. And I turned it on, and it was like, oh.
Yeah.
it's women.
The most fascinating thing I saw this whole season, have you seen this gal that plays for Iowa State?
I'm not going to go down that road.
Have you seen her?
Well, I know that they had to order a different uniform.
Oh, man.
She brings the junk.
Oh,
the big girl.
That
space heater. There's a lot of things you can say about a guy if he was a big guy. You can't say about her.
You can't.
Nah.
But she is named after a car.
She's a big girl.
Yep.
A lot of material there.
Yes.
Really fills the lane.
I was fascinated. Like, I forget what the guy's name is. There used to be a big fat basket, and there's like there's
a big one playing right now in the MAC. I think
there was some guy who I think he played for like Western Kentucky or something that was like, I mean, this guy, he was like easy 3 bills and not like Shaq. I'm talking like he was 3 bills at like 6'5" or 6'4", not a good kind of 3 bill. I love watching him play.
It's a guy for his name is Connor Williams. Plays. He's 360 pounds.
Oh,
yeah, here he is.
Hell
Big
yeah!
5'0".
Where does he play?
St. John Fisher. It's
okay, so it's D2.
Yeah, it's a little D2 school.
Oh, it's
talk
not
about
the
a
same.
dude that fills the lane.
God, what a beefy man! That's fun to me to watch.
The rolling one-hander.
And I'll be honest, like there was a side TV on during the Eagles game that had that Iowa State West Virginia lady basketball game on, and I was interested in her. Like she's my favorite lady college basketball player now. I can tell you that much. I know her name's Audie Audi. I don't know what her last name is, but she's my favorite lady college basketball player this
She gets
season.
buckets. I got to give her credit.
Not
She
too
does get
shabby.
Buckets. Just
They got their ass kicked, though.
Not a lot of wind there.
Country roads take me home. All right. There you go. That's your losers for the weekend. Thank God the Bills didn't have to be on that. Oh, I was ready. I honestly, it would have been me on the list this week for letting myself have some, and it'll really be me next weekend for letting myself have hope.
Well,
that's what I'm gonna do, because getting past the Ravens, I always said was gonna be the toughest game for the Bills, and now I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, they're gonna do it, and I actually believe for once that they're gonna do it. And I'm like Charlie Brown. I'm running up to the football, and I know what's going to happen, but I'm still running. I'm still going to try to kick that bad boy.
You embody a fan. That you have embodied exactly what fans do.
It sucks. I can usually avoid it. I can usually turn it off.
I think you're right in the right place. I don't think in previous years I'd have said, "Ooh, you're headed for some heartbreak."
Yeah.
But right now, I think you're in the right place.
Well, yeah, Mark Andrews dropping that pass on the 2-point try is literally what I could have pictured Buffalo doing to lose that game. Like that's how it would have gone historically.
And I can't stress enough, the way that Buffalo won was the way that they had to win to prove to me that they can go do it next. It was without Josh Allen. Allen was just a participant in a much bigger machine.
Yeah.
And that's what they had to prove.
Well, I'm feeling good for now. We'll see if I feel good later. Let's do this. Caller number 5. It is a mellow Monday, friends. I don't know if you guys are aware.
I'm mellow.
It is a mellow Monday, and what that means, every Monday you listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz, and you can win a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom, which, God, Mellow Mushroom, their pizza bangs, baby. So caller number 5, you're going to win a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mush Room. Love that place.
Over by you.
It is real close to me. Yeah, I eat that pizza more than anywhere in town because A, it's very convenient, but B, the pizza is incredible. So I get in there on that stuff. All right, 1 hour of program left to go. We'll try and make it good. We'll talk about this college football matchup on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
GimmeTheVin.com, our expert buying team, knows exotics, luxury cars, classics, diesels, lifted stuff, hot rods, inside and out. We buy them at GiveMeTheVin.com. It's a one-stop shop to get into a pool of absolute experts. Join my YouTube channel, John Clay Wolf. GimmeTheVin.com. They don't call me America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Febreze.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Joel, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E. Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. CentergenicsHealth.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a trouble spot south side of downtown on I-10 eastbound just past Probant. Disabled vehicle taken at the right lane. Downtown, that ongoing road work 35 upper level. Southbound the connector to westbound I-10. That connector ramp is reduced to one lane. Otherwise, everything else, all our major freeway systems right now looking good, rolling at posted speeds. Now we do expect lighter than usual traffic volume today due to the holiday. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Conference championship weekend is set. The Chiefs will host the Bills as Buffalo held off Baltimore 27-25 last night, while Kansas City beat the Houston Texans 23-14 on Saturday. On the NFC side, the Eagles will host the Commanders as Washington took down the Detroit Lions 45-31, and the Eagles held off the Rams 28-22 behind Saquon Barkley's 205 and 2 tutties. The Spurs fell 128-107 to Miami last night, dropping to 19-22 on the year and losing 3 consecutive games. They were paced by Devin Vassell's 23. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yes, sir. Rolling on through. It's the 9 o'clock hour. It's my favorite hour of the day.
Mine's 10.
That's a good one, too. Well, I mean, of the work day. It's
right.
It's my favorite.
Right.
It's my favorite. I got to go see a couple more houses today. Couldn't get them all in on Thursday.
Ooh, it's going to be a cold one.
I know.
What side of town are you heading?
North side, like Timberland Park area. Timberwood.
Timberwood Park.
Yeah. That's a nice area. Big lots.
Yeah, that's a great area.
What I've seen, though, a couple of these places.
Ledger's neck of the woods.
Like, I like these. I like the hill country part of San Antonio much more than the flat part of San Antonio.
It's a rather radical change.
It is. But what I'm noticing on these lots in the hill country is oftentimes the hills really mess up your backyard. Like in a way that is like I looked at one house that was a great house, huge lot, but it's basically like a split level house because the grade is so high that like your backyard is it's a ski slope.
Well, I live up on the northwest side up there outside of between Bandera and 10. There's a couple of big developments that are in hills. I see a lot of that.
So a couple of them have basements.
But that's you told me that you'd seen a couple of houses with basements. I don't know.
Or I guess they're technically not a basement,
but they're not underground, but it feels like it by the way the house
because
is built.
the front of the basement is underground. The back is not.
That's
so
crazy.
Like these
cool.
houses are built into this thing. But that means like if my living room and bedroom are on the what is the main floor of the house, if I'm going to let my dogs in the backyard, I got to go down a set of stairs to do it.
Yeah, there's a couple of those houses around.
That's a pain in the ass, Bubba.
You're living you just got a house. That's it. You don't got a yard. You don't got anything. And anything out there is just work. You can't even use it.
That's a lot.
I wish I was in your place though to go find, to redo and pick the neighborhood and the house and the things I like.
I think the leader in the clubhouse right now has a chicken coop.
I can identify?
Yeah, and like a little run.
Man.
Yeah.
Rob knows how to build.
I had to protect my chickens.
I've got a pre-built chicken coop.
No, he can
I can
industrialize
it.
But I've got a fence, so they like that keeps the coyotes out.
I mean, it can get over.
If you would just build the privacy fence, the coyotes wouldn't.
I have a game fence. I'm high fenced all the way around.
How the hell do coyotes get in?
They're smarter than your average deer.
Yeah, this isn't normal coyotes. These are South Texas.
But we're high fenced and just to protect the investment for plants, so the deers don't eat all the flowers.
Yeah. Your dad does love those plants.
So no, the roses, if they were gone, we'll sacrifice the chicken. But if the roses go down, there's going to be blood. There will be. It was last night. Yeah, last night. Our chickens were under attack. I think we have spotlights, like motion. And I was out walking my dog about 9:30, and I looked out, and the spotlight was on. And it's kind of down the hill. And I couldn't tell, so I went into action, man. Grabbed a gun, flashlight. My wife was like, "What are you doing? The lights are on. I think I got a chance." In my mind, I honestly thought I could probably pick off a coyote from 50 yards with a pistol.
Okay,
I
Rambo.
thought in the dark.
Okay, Rambo.
Oh, dude,
you're doing like tactical rolls down the hill.
I had the gun at my hip. Like kind of down with my finger off, kind of prancing, and I was holding the flashlight in the cop manner.
Geez.
Not like straight ahead, but up, like I was in, and I had that pistol behind me, like the coyote wouldn't see it. Well, I didn't have it the tactical way, which I should have.
Yeah,
the tactical or the
missed opportunity
with the flashlight right at the pistol, so I could.
You don't keep it just duct taped like that.
No,
all the time?
I was doing Dirty Harry. I had it back behind my waist, and I was kind of like ducked down, coming around. I was going to turn around and do a tactical roll and take out that coyote about 50 feet.
That behind the back thing will slow you down.
Nah, I didn't get a chance.
That coyote might have outdrew you.
I pulled a hammy. Yeah, I pulled a hammy and pulled up lame and had to go back up inside.
Saw this on Looney Tunes
But
once.
for a brief shining moment, yeah, something cool was about to happen.
Well,
it didn't happen.
Now, did you make visual?
Nah, I never saw it.
Now, is it possible that it was the chickens
It's
moving?
entirely possible, yes. But, a man can dream.
So imagine Rob's dad wakes up and he's like, we lost another chicken. This time I got a bullet in it.
There's a bullet in this one.
Coyotes are strapped.
I don't know. Those coyotes are getting tougher every day.
Oh, man.
I almost took him out, though. Almost.
Well, and then Claymore brings up Micah Parsons laughing at the Lions losing. That's not a great look.
That's worthy of a full – when you want to look into a man's character.
This is the same dude who all year long was acting like, if we go on one run, if we go on one little run.
For those of you unaware, he posted
– damn good football team.
How many, laughing faces at Dan Campbell? I mean, he's literally laughing at a dude that had the team that beat him last year. You're literally – do you get the look, man? Do you have any idea how that looks to everybody else? They're so much better than you are. That team was so much better than the team you were on.
Yeah.
They played so much harder than you ever played. They were so much better than everything you did. And when the guy is down after he lost the game, you have the nutsack to post that. That tells me a lot about your character.
Yeah,
man.
That's not a good look. All right, national championship game tonight. The Ohio State Buckeyes, the heavily favored Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. This is an 8.5-point spread. Total is 45.5.
Wow. It's gone up.
The
43?
Yeah, it was 43.5.
Yeah.
I think I decided on how I'm going to do this game. I think I've decided on my.
Is it all first half?
I do think that if you like Ohio State, I would play Ohio State in the first half. I think what I'm going to do is, because I want a juiced up Ohio State number. I don't want I don't think Ohio State, if they win, is going to win by 9 points.
I do.
I think if they win, they win by big margin.
See, that's me. If they win, it's a blowout, bust out 24-point, and I don't think Day takes his foot off the gas. I think if he can score 50, he'll score. They can't. I mean, Notre Dame has a better defense than that. But I do think no matter the score, Ohio State will continue to try to score to finish the game.
I think I'm going to go with Ohio State on the alternate line minus 13.5, and you get plus 140.
That sounds so scary because that's such a big number. But you brought it up earlier in the show. The last, how many games, championship games? 6?
6.
They're not even close, man. It's not
They're
even
blowouts.
And it's a blowout in favor of the favorite. I mean, there is no question that the favorite was the national champion in 6 consecutive years.
Yeah. So I think in that way, if I lose, I'm only going to lose 1 unit. I don't have to pay minus 110. I'll get some extra bump back if I cover it, because I think the likelihood of them winning by, all I got to do is fade 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Yeah, they win by 14 points. I'm money. I considered even going to like 16.5.
Ooh. But again, I still believe that if they're going to win, they're going to win that way.
16.5 is plus 193. I might do a half unit on each, actually.
What do you think of Freeman as a big game coach? Do we have enough?
I don't think we have enough.
Yeah,
I mean, so far so good, right?
Yeah, as a recipient of a thorough ass whipping on the road, the guy is capable. But I also saw the fall apart the week after. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to think that defense is that stellar. I want to think that they are going to focus on that run game and play the game to the fourth quarter and hope they're in it to win it with a big play late. I want to believe that that's possible. I just don't think it is. And that's a benefit for Freeman. I think that he's the kind of young coach that might approach this in a way that you can actually win with. Although, as a young coach, it's really hard to say we're going to play for the fourth quarter. You want to go out and get a lead, get your quarterback moving around, and play Notre Dame football. I just don't think that's the prescription to beat an Ohio State team that can beat you a lot of different ways. You're going to have to keep them off the field.
I heard in the press conferences this week, and this is something that I wanted to back Notre Dame here, and I just can't. Even though my numbers say I should back Notre Dame, I'm not going to.
It's crazy that your numbers tell you that, really. And I agree with you. But it's just they're almost good enough in every category, but not great in anything. And That's what worries me more than anything about this. I can't find that extra. Is it that wide receiver that made a play 2 games ago? Is he the extra? Is he the deep threat that will make the difference? I just don't know if they've got one of those.
I still contend that this is a poverty offense. It is not a good offense. It just isn't. But Marcus Freeman said something that really bothered me, because what Texas did right against Ohio State was they played almost exclusively zone defense, and Jeremiah Smith got taken out of the equation. And that really gave them a glimmer of hope that I don't know that they would have had Jeremiah Smith not been held to nothing. Notre Dame, as great as they are defensively, plays no zone. They just don't do it.
Well, they play press man because they've got NFL caliber corners, but Jeremiah Smith is a different dude.
And they asked him, they said, so with the success you saw of Texas, what they did to limit Jeremiah Smith, would you consider running any zone to slow him down? And he looked dead in the face and said, we don't play zone defense. And I said, oh my God, dude. Like, if you're incapable of adjusting to it,
well, let's see what happens.
That's terrifying.
I can't imagine that they go, well, we're not even going to try this, even though we think that's the only thing that's going to work. I think there might be some gamesmanship. But, he says that knowing full well he's got 2 NFL corners that can press cover just about everybody in the world, at least playing college football. But they have not seen a tandem, a trio like they're about to go against.
I don't know what's worse. Is it worse to say I refuse to play zone, even though I know it's got a chance to work? Or is it worse to say we've played man exclusively all year, and we're going to try and switch in the biggest? I don't know if there's a right answer.
There's a bait and switch. I do know I used to play for a coach a long time ago that was man-to-man. If you played zone, that was a wimp way out, and there's man-to-man is always better than zone if you play the man right. And they might be of the belief that if you do this right, it is always, always better. And I believe that if you've got the kind of dudes that can turn the ball over, if you can play press man and devote only one dude to wide receivers and give the other 9 or 10 dudes other responsibilities, it's always better. I get it. But don't be arrogant about it, because that's the first thing that goes before you lose.
The other way I would consider looking at this game is in the MVP market. I think that there's a pretty good possibility, because neither one of these teams allows explosive plays. When they beat you, it's by 1,000 cuts. They take the ball down, and I do think that Ohio State particularly is going to have some success in the red zone. And that means if you're going to have success in the red zone, chances are good you're going to have success running the football in the red zone. The favorite to be the MVP is Will Howard. He's minus 110. I see no value in that. Likely the winning quarterback, but I don't see it.
Yeah, that's average.
Jeremiah Smith is second favorite at plus 360. Riley Leonard is plus 500. I'm going to put a half unit on 2 guys. Travion Henderson at 12-1. Quinshon Judkins at 18-1.
So you like running?
I think if one of those guys scores 2 touchdowns, they'll be the MVP of the game. And I think chances are good. One of them at least scores 2 touchdowns.
I think Ohio State wins this game. I think they win it going away. I think it's probably 15 points, 16 points by what I see. But as far as the MVP goes, I don't know what Ohio State's going to do. There's 5 possibles for Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith could be easy, could be quarterback, could be one of the running backs, could be a defensive player. Who knows? If Notre Dame is going to do anything, it's Riley Leonard. If they're going to do anything, Riley Leonard will win the MVP. That's the only way they can do anything is Riley Leonard.
I think he's got to run the ball effectively.
Whatever, throw it, run it, whatever. So for me, I don't know who the Ohio State MVP will be, but I know if Notre Dame's in it or they're close, it'll be Riley Leonard. I'd pick Ohio State to win it. I'd still bet Riley Leonard for MVP just because he's the only possibility on that side of the ball. Unless something comes out of the woodwork that I can't even imagine, I think he would be the easiest, and that's why they've got him the plus, 500? Yeah, it makes sense to me because there's no other way Notre Dame wins unless he goes bananas.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that if Leonard can have some success running the ball, that gives them a glimmer of hope.
Does he have to be Josh Allen? Does he have to have
kind of
not the previous game, but the Josh Allen that got him to the second playoff?
I mean, I think he has to put him on his back, kind of, because I don't think running the ball like traditionally, like Jeremiah Love, I don't think that is going to. I don't think that's going to work. I mean, we saw it; it didn't work with Texas. Texas just could not run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why people were banging their fists on the table saying put Arch Manning in, because they wanted that little bit of versatility that he would bring, and Riley Leonard has that. I don't think it's enough. So I think that the more I've looked at this, I was planning on being on Notre Dame, and I just can't pull the trigger. I can't. When the line first opened, it was 10. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to have to bet on this team. I can't not bet them at 10. And now that the week's gone on and it's down to 8.5, I'm still glad that I don't have them plus 10. Like I would have felt really disappointed that I'd made that first impression. Oh, this is the first number that pops. I'm like 10, boom, go. I'd be mad at myself right now.
Probably.
Which is unusual because normally if I've got a 1.5 of closing line value, I feel great. But in this case, I'm like, no, I'm glad that I passed on that.
You know, one of the benefits of the long layoff is at least both teams are coming in as healthy as they can be. You know,
Notre Dame's still not healthy, though.
Well, I mean, as they can be. I mean, there were guys that they were going to be out for the season no matter what, and their defense is suffering a little bit, and we haven't talked a lot about that. So they're as healthy as they can be. They're still down a part or two. It's going to take some Irish luck. It's going to take some Domer extraordinary play, something weird, screwy for them to be in this. They're just outmanned, but that's why we're here.
Yep. All right, let's hit a break. We'll talk about what's going on in the world outside of sports. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning and heads up on 281. Getting reports of an accident southbound 281 Danella. On 35 upper level southbound connector to westbound I-10 downtown. We've got that ongoing road work, so roadway is reduced to one lane. Has you stop and go from 35 upper lower level split. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. That number 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Finding the right employee for your company is tough. One wrong hire can be a major setback. You're not alone if you face this. A recent survey by Robert Half shows nearly half of hiring managers readily admit to making a bad hire. Luckily, there's a solution. With Robert Half's specialized recruiter's experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can have the right skilled professional in place quickly. We understand what it takes to build winning teams because at Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Lowe's knows how to help make your Super Bowl 59 party a touchdown. Let us help you prep your home to host with top brands like Charbroil, Blackstone, and LG, so you can be the MVP of game day. Plus, use the Lowe's app to find what you need for a seamless shopping run. Or huddle up with our Lowe's Red Vest associates to help make all your game time hosting decisions.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we are the ones you can trust. With over 100 years of combined experience, we are committed to helping people in our local community. Get George Salinas Injury Lawyers and put our experience to work for you and your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
I'm in here getting the business during the break from our engineer, who luckily is more mad at Jason Minix than me today, which is rare.
Our crack engineer on crack, Greg Shelton.
Normally, I think I'm his least favorite, but today, at least, for one day, Jason Minix is his least favorite.
Because he doesn't have to go anywhere with us.
Right. And we aren't...
So you should go and make fun of Greg Shelton tonight at the Rue Pub. They're going to do all the stuff getting ready for the national championship game. Rue's always popping on a night like this.
We're not putting Greg into danger like Minix is.
No.
Minix doesn't care either.
All Minix cares about is the mighty dollar.
He really is. He sold his soul for the dollar. And good for him. If that's what you want to do.
Mighty dollar.
You lose the respect of Greg Shelton when you do that. That's what I've seen happen.
We got a lot of holidays going on today. We got MLK. It's National DJ Day.
Yes.
I don't think we're being treated appropriately.
No, we're not. We're not getting the appreciation we deserve, but do we ever? It doesn't seem so, but one day, you know when it'll come, and I've realized this now. It comes when you die.
Is that
okay? Now that when my former co-host died, suddenly he and I did the best sports radio show in the history of Houston.
I'm not going to promote you up to that. I'm not going anywhere, so you're going to have to.
And it's like, wait a minute, why didn't you guys ever say that when he was alive?
Well, that's what killed him.
Because he knows it would have just been me soaking in my flowers, telling him, that's because of me, right?
That's what killed him.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
I carried you to being the greatest show in the history of time. But then when he died, all of a sudden it's like, wow, That guy was what a show that was. What a show. And everybody's tagging me. Oh, thanks for all the dude.
Where were you when?
Yeah. Help me out, bro. I'm still alive. Tell me how great I am now. Please. Although I think maybe you and I are the best show in the history of San Antonio sports radio already.
Ask my mother.
I think
ask my family. They'll tell you.
I think she would tell the truth.
I think they would be honest and say, not only am I the handsomest man to ever do radio, but I've been paired with one quite nice as well. I mean, they would tell you the truth.
Yeah. Now, I am not handsome.
Well, I mean, it's radio handsome.
But,
it's our day. So you are today.
Pleasure.
Celebrated.
Can you think of a better show than ours?
Off the top of your head right now, quick. See?
In San Antonio?
Yeah. Hadn't happened, has it?
I happen to think Extra Innings with Pleasure is a phenomenal radio show.
I said off the top of your head right now.
I used to be on that show sometimes.
We got. I used to be on that show every now and again, too.
What happened?
You're not allowed on anymore?
No, y'all are still on.
Okay,
but live.
I loved having y'all live.
We used to be on the.
This came from the top. You're gonna have to talk to the guy over in.
He'll be here
Palm
soon
Springs.
enough.
Oh no, I save all favors that I ask for myself.
Right. Has nothing to do with you. Now, if it benefits you, I'm all about it.
Yeah. Claymore says, "Bruh, nobody's thinking about DJs. It's MLK Day and inauguration."
It is.
I know. Like they should be thinking about the DJs. We're getting overwhelmed because
we're here.
Sucks, man. It's our big day.
I mean, even the guys going to parade
we're playing the college football championship game today instead.
Or the parade.
We're having MLK Day.
Celebrating
new president of America.
What's in it for me?
We're in here working.
What about me?
Yeah. Enough about me. What do you think of me?
Sucks, man. Sucks. We always get the short end of the stick. All right. Wanted to go over some things that had nothing to do with sports. This is I'm glad you got out of Florida.
I got out barely.
I'm glad
almost got me.
You got out of Florida.
Due for a neck tattoo. If I'd stayed any longer, I was up for it.
But what would you be shocked if I told you that Florida is apparently the best state for starting a business?
Well, they rocketed past Mississippi in the cases of rickets. So after they got that taken care of, next up is that. So, yeah, I'm not surprised.
The problem is if you start a business in Florida and it doesn't have anything to do with meth or...
Well, I thought that was part of it.
Yeah.
The meth business doesn't... Startup meth business, that's not why?
No, apparently not. Apparently not. Remember I guess it was a couple weeks ago. No, it was in October. A Florida woman was arrested with drugs in a bag called it was labeled definitely not a bag of drugs.
Oh, I remember this, yes.
Yeah, she had a bag and it said definitely not a bag full of drugs. Cops looked inside it and there were drugs.
See, there's no probable cause there. See, I think she should have gotten off because she was telling them there's no cause there. She was telling them, look, there's no drugs here. Fruit of the poison tree.
What's crazy is the same person was arrested again.
Same bag?
With a bag that says this bag's definitely not full of drugs. Full of drugs again. It's not a repeat. It's the same woman. What are we doing? Did you not learn your lesson? And why do you keep getting pulled over? When you're driving around with a bag full of drugs labeled definitely not a bag full of drugs, maybe drive the speed limit. I don't know. So turn on your blinker.
Did they give her old bag back or did she go make a new one?
I think she got a new bag because the old bag would have been in evidence. But she was so committed to that gimmick. What are we doing?
Well, it might have worked that we don't know about. There might have been other pullovers where it actually worked. We don't ever hear about those.
I mean, don't you do the same thing? You bring in a can with a brown paper bag that says this definitely isn't beer.
This isn't beer. It's just a Coke that I'm trying to keep cold with a paper bag. I don't know why you'd think it's beer.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, we all drink these 16-ounce beers or Cokes. They're hard to find.
God,
keep them cold.
I remember this was my senior year of high school. We were maybe a week or two from graduation, and we had a big blowout party and out at a ranch. And we had probably, I don't know, we had cases and cases of beer.
Had a kegger?
No, we just had cans.
Oh.
We had someone who was willing to buy us bulk cans.
Is this in Texas or elsewhere?
Texas.
Okay.
And we saw the cops at the gate to the ranch. So we had time to hide all the beer cans behind a little porta-john. I guess not a porta-john because it's a permanent structure, but it's like where you pee into the ground, a giant hole in the ground.
Outhouse.
Yeah, an outhouse. That's what it is. That's the word I was thinking of, or I wasn't thinking of. And the cops get there, and there's like, I don't know, 15, 20 kids.
All sober,
all
acting normal. Yes,
just
sir, no,
hanging
sir.
out around a fire.
Just out in the darkness.
With nothing to drink.
Being dudes, just hanging here.
And they say, well, so there's no beer here. We're sure.
Not as far as you know.
And I said, no, man, none at all. Of course, I'm the talker. It always falls on me. And there was one beer can in the back of my truck. And I said, oh, this is my dad's truck. That's probably his. He said, it's ice cold. Then he pulled me off to the side, and he said, Bubba, you can tell me where the beer is, and I can let you off with just shutting the party down, or you cannot tell me where it is. I find it, and I give everyone here an MIP. And
Did you run off into the darkness?
I told him where the beer was.
Wow, what a you.
Did not have AJ as a narc on my bingo
Discretion
card.
and valor, I get it.
Oh, I took the fall for it. I said it was mine. I'm no narc. You kidding me?
It's all mine. These guys.
I took the fall for it, and the only reason I didn't get in trouble is because in a week I was going off to infantry boot camp, and the guy was like, "I'm not going to bust you for this because I don't want to mess up your career." I wanted to tell him, "It's not my career. I'm just going to go, learn how to kill things." But
I'm so old. We were legal.
Well, I was 17 at the time, so I wasn't
18, and you could actually drive with a beer.
God, those
between
were
your
the
legs.
good old days, man. How great would that have been?
What's happened to America?
You guys had your cars.
got
You had your cars with no seat belts. You could drive with open beer cans in.
Throw a kid in the back window.
We did all that. Now there's a lot fewer of us that made it, but those that did, we're tough sons of bitches.
I remember when I was growing up as a kid, I used to just sit in that back window portion where the car is.
Oh yeah.
Long road trips, just crawl back in there.
I think all of us had brothers and sisters that didn't make it that we just never talk about.
Oh yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
That
one that
played in
fell
the back?
out.
Yeah, I vaguely remember.
Miss her.
Yeah,
miss that kid.
Would have been nice if that guy hung around a little bit longer.
What was her name? I don't know.
Playing in traffic. I don't know.
I don't know. All right. When we come back, we'll do what we always do to wrap up the program.
There's definitely no drugs in there.
The Daily Lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play. Up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, Wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hour.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box, or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like in Buffalo.
It's going to suck.
And you know what the bad thing for Denver is? It's a different kind of cold in Buffalo than it is in Denver. Denver's like, hoity-toity snow. Buffalo's like dirty and gritty and working man kind of stuff.
Of all the BS I've heard from you through the years, you spouting weather BS is just too much.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1. San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is Jason Minix, and you're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1.
Of the people.
And if you're just waking up, and I don't blame you if you are, probably got the day off, getting ready to head down to the march. You know, you can catch anything that we've done already. You can replay it again. SASportsStar.com, our YouTube channel. Make sure you're liking and listening and sharing and all those kind of things. And you would be able to be caught up. You'd be fully aware, even if you hadn't already.
Even if you weren't already in the know.
You can catch up. Start at the early morning and watch and listen all the way through.
You saw Snoop Dogg catching all these strays?
Well, hey, it's a party. I mean, we got a new president.
And Elon, of all people, calling him out for it.
Well.
Because the first time he got elected, Snoop said, anybody plays for Trump is a Uncle Tom. And then here we are. Here we sit. Not a good look for old Snoop.
It's going to be a wild couple of days.
I saw a bunch of people posting lap doggy dog last night.
Oh, boy. This week is going to be crazy, man. Just grab your popcorn.
Snoop's career arc may be the wildest in history. Like, dude was on trial for murder when I was a kid. Now he's like he's
America's grandfather.
He really is. Like
our high grandfather.
And then now he's made he's pissed off a good percentage of his audience.
Like a grandfather, just saying what he wants, just lobbing hand grenades and performing for people that shouldn't be allowed to enjoy good music.
That's wild. He called Kanye a bunch of words that I don't say when he performed or when he was riding for Trump. So this is a surprising move. Surprising move. All right, let's do what we always do to wrap up the show. Take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
Ohio State minus 8.5 against Notre Dame. Total is 45.5. If you just need Ohio State to win the game, it's minus 375. If you think Notre Dame can win the game, how about 3-1 on your money?
It's a good number. I like the
3
idea
to 1
of
is a good
3 to
month.
1.
That's, yeah, it's not bad.
In a game like this, but I've been so wrong on a couple of these. So again, offense is going to be the preeminent factor for me, and I just don't think they got nearly as much as OSU.
The prop market, Will Howard, 250-plus yards. Over, under?
Under. I think they'll be able to run the ball.
Well,
a lot of reasons, but under.
Riley Leonard, 178 yards.
Passing?
Passing.
Yeah, I would think that's probably a necessity if they're going to be in it.
I'm going to go with, where is Riley Leonard rushing? Rush attempts. That's what I'm looking for. Riley Leonard rush attempts. Whew, that's a big number. 16.
I think that's
plus 130.
Right where it's going to need. Again, if they're going to win, Riley's going to have to do it with his arm and his legs.
Yeah. Damn, that's a bigger number than I was expecting. I thought it was maybe 13, 12.
But that's
16.
only if you think they've got a chance to win. Does that look good?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't think they have a chance for a lot of different reasons, that looks awful.
The first half line that we were talking about earlier, Ohio State minus 5.5, if you think they can get out to an early lead. Elsewhere, let's take a look at the Association of National Basketballs. The Dallas Mavericks, 4.5-point favorites in Charlotte.
Kyrie's balling, man.
Is he?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Mavericks in a little while. Rockets, 8-point favorites, hosting the Pistons.
James and I were talking about the Rockets. They've taken, I guess it's not unexpected. They have taken the next step.
They really have.
This is a team that's now playoff contender and looking to win a series.
Being a good defensive team. And it's crazy that they went from being a dreadful defensive team. That's why I say, man, if you don't think a head coach matters in the NBA, it really does.
Some do. Ime changed the dynamic around there.
Yep.
That's going to be a good game tonight. And it's not because Detroit is bad. It's because Detroit is better.
By the way, these are early games.
Yeah. This is all MLK stuff.
Yeah, so Rockets play at 1, Mavericks play at 11. So they'll be getting into it early. Timberwolves are at the Grizzlies, which is a low-key good game. Grizzlies minus 5.5.
I like that. Well, they're playing well. They're playing good basketball. Zach Edey, while this is another one of those perfect matchups for Zach. Not all, the good one against Victor, and it showed off both games. Another tall on tall. He plays well against bigs. This is a good matchup for them.
Hawks. Well, I'm sure, I don't know how many guys like Gobert Zach Edey has seen.
Not many, but he plays better against dudes of his height than he does dudes that are quick.
Yeah. Hawks plus 6.5 at the Knicks. The Phoenix Suns are at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs minus 7.5.
That's a
in that one
game. Suns are hot. They're playing good basketball.
Yeah, 7.5 is a big number, but do you want to fade the Cavs at home?
No, I don't.
At your own peril. The Boston Celtics, 10-point road favorites against the Golden State Warriors.
Don't sleep on Boston. They're winning low-key. Everybody's talking about other teams. Boston just keeps plugging along, top 3 teams in the East, just waiting for the playoffs.
God, when did we turn into Golden State catches 10 at home? Imagine a world where that could have happened 3 or 4 years ago.
Well, such is life.
It is.
By the way, as you brought up Golden State
Father
yesterday,
time.
front page of the Express, new stadium, a loss for taxpayers. And they highlighted that the Warriors' new stadium was built entirely with private money. That the brand new Clipper Stadium that just opened and built entirely with private money.
That's a badass stadium, by the way.
They both are. And San Antonio coming with hat in hand, looking for 60% funding. Not a good start to what will be a tough campaign for cash when the local paper says it's a loss for taxpayers.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh is right. Anyway.
That ain't good news. Utah Jazz plus 11 at the Pelicans. That sounds like a Zion night. You can always tell if Zion's playing or not. Zion is clearly like the most valuable player to a point spread in the world.
In history.
It's like it's a pick 'em. Oh, he's playing minus 11.
Well, you got to be real. It makes them a playoff caliber team when he plays. They don't have the record to represent it, but when he's on the court, his usage, his points, they're a playoff team.
Yep. The Bulls are at the Clippers. Bulls +6 on the road.
Wow. I just saw Harden got 20 and 10, one of the older dudes to ever do that again, along with LeBron.
Good for him.
Yeah, well.
Good for him. What a guy, James Harden.
I know one of your favorites.
What a guy. Totally one of my favorites. We don't have any top 25 action.
Did you get a chance to see the Marquette? Was it Xavier? It was. It was Marquette Xavier. What a basketball game, man. Xavier is one of those low-key teams I don't want to see play. First of all, Marquette is a Final Four caliber team, and they got a point guard that I covet for the Spurs.
Cam Jones.
Yeah, Cam Jones, one of the better ballers in the country. But Xavier offered one hell of a game. The Big East, tough, man. That's
it
tough
really
conference.
is, man. It's
they're
still very
second.
Good.
They might be tougher than the Big 12.
You know what my favorite game of the weekend was? Alabama and Kentucky. Dude.
Yes, sir. Kentucky's. I don't know what to make of them.
102 to 97. The total on this game was 178, which is absurd for a college basketball game. It went to 199. Like that is just wild, and it was back and forth. Both these teams just elite offensive teams. Alabama just too much fuel though. Good win on the road for the Tide. That was a great, not a good game, a great game. And the Mississippi game.
Did you see Ole Miss turn it?
Man.
Beard's got him a team, man. Look out for the SEC. It's just ridiculous. I've never been a part of a conference that I shouldn't say never. Big East back in the late '80s felt like this too, where every night doesn't matter the game, doesn't matter the teams. If it's an SEC game, it's going to be good.
Yeah,
it just top to bottom. I can't say that about the Big 12. I can't. There's some that haves, the Iowa States, and there's a lot of have-nots.
Although Iowa State falls this weekend to West Virginia.
They're still a top 10 team. I mean, that's a very good basketball team. Going against some good talent, that was one I didn't see coming, and I think there was a lot of hype on them because they were probably going to be odds-on number one. That the Big 12 just ain't as good, and the more I see of the Big East as they're playing, it's because teams like Creighton are getting better. Xavier's getting better. I mean, Creighton beat UConn in Connecticut this weekend.
Creighton, for whatever reason, Creighton always beats UConn.
They're getting better. So I like the Big East as we get closer and closer to tournament and stuff. Weigh the Big East a little bit heavier than the Big 12. I think those wins matter more.
Current conference, the net ratings of the conferences that Ken Palm puts out on his website, the SEC is number one,
by far.
And they're at a 21 net rating. Big 10 is second at 17.6.
So this is where I'm interested. Where does
Big 12 16.9, Big East 13.7.
They're gaining on you. That's a tough conference.
ACC 9.8. Remember when the ACC was the basketball conference?
Now
it's Duke and just a bunch of other crummy basketball
teams.
Teams.
That's normally where national champions come from. Soft conference.
Well,
stay healthy.
Doesn't seem to work for Gonzaga ever.
No, I should say other than West Coast teams.
Yeah, it's the ACC is closer to the Mountain West than they are to the Big East.
In the play and the talent levels, I completely agree with that.
Like the next best team in the ACC is probably Clemson,
depending on the night you catch them.
I don't even know if they're I don't think they're a top 25 team in the country.
I think North Carolina's going to have something to say later on. They're too deep.
Maybe
they get healthy.
Man, they've already lost 7 games.
I know it's not your typical
12
Carolina team.
and 7,
and Hubert Davis dealing with a couple of injuries. But they're
Louisville to me is the team that maybe could do something out of that group. The collapse of Miami basketball is incredible, and they lost this weekend to SMU by 43 points at home. That team has totally quit.
Well, their coach quit, so everybody else quit too.
No, they're not even trying. So they have now lost. They are 4-14. They've lost 13 of their last 14 games. They started out 3-0. Their only win since November 17th is a win at home against Presbyterian. that team was in the Final Four 2 years ago.
You know, you think of Miami, and we talk about the NIL and its effect on college sports, and then Miami, the money they're playing to Carson Beck to go play there, and they can't fund a basketball team that could get within 43 at home of SMU.
I mean, I'm telling you, that whole group has just absolutely rolled over and died. It is really kind of pathetic. And like I said, I'll give you the latest odds on the NFL. Commanders, 5.5-point road dogs at Philly, total of 47.5.
Where do you see that line going?
I think that line is very dependent on what we hear about Jalen Hurts' health in the next couple days.
So do you think it could stretch to 6, 7?
I think if Jalen Hurts is healthy, it probably should be 7, or at least 6.5. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the Eagles were 4.5-point favorites at Washington 4 weeks ago with Kenny Pickett at quarterback. So if Jalen Hurts is healthy and they're at home, I think it probably should be 7. So
if you're a Washington fan, hold on.
That's what I'm waiting for. I do want to back Washington, by the way. I'm not saying that they should be 7 points. I'm saying the market tends to push it that way. But it could just be a change in people's perspective on Washington. Like they've looked really great 2 weeks in a row. You knock off that was the Super Bowl favorite.
You
went into their house and beat the Super Bowl favorite in impressive fashion. The Bills 1.5-point dogs in Kansas City, total of 48.5.
I think if you like Buffalo, get it now. Get it now, right?
I'm gonna bet Bills money line.
Yeah.
So I'll be on Bills plus whatever's available. I don't see why this is probably about where the line should be. I don't think the Bills should be favored in Kansas City, and I don't think Kansas. I mean, you can't make Kansas City a 3-point favorite. The world would hammer Buffalo if they were catching 3. So I think it's the right line.
Do you think we're gonna have a lot of discussion this week about officiating?
Of course.
Do you think that, and will it be to the point where officials get to the point where they lean the other direction? I mean, I think we're going to talk a lot about the Kansas City fatigue and the willingness for the officials to follow their side over the next couple of days. And it might be to their disadvantage when they actually come play the game.
It could be. I don't know. I hope so. I hope it's an evenly called game is all I hope. Like, I really Texans, do. I think that's all you can hope for against the Chiefs is hope that it's at least evenly called. Like you don't hope that you're going to get the whistle edge because you just don't. But because otherwise, even when you commit an obvious penalty, Patrick Mahomes loses his mind.
Well, the coach's answer is don't put yourself in that situation. Make sure the calls won't matter.
All right, friends. That's it.
Go bundle up for the march.
Happy MLK Day, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Do it all over again just for you because we are the show of the people. Jason and Joe, kind of the people. They'll all be out at the Roo Pub amongst the people. We'll see you tomorrow.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Rising hot.